Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Husker try to inbound it with it is Hoiberg, left sideline. Brings it up top. Cheddar is in the game. Big against Little here. Hoiberg drives him all the way in. Retreats, scoops it back out to Lawrence. Up top to Hoiberg. Got a good look for three. Got it. Bang! Bang! Ringo here in Ann Arbor for Hoiberg. And the Huskers are now up 34-25. Up by 9. Another three ball. Weiss goes baseline. No shot for him. Up top to Hoiberg. Looking inside. Driving the ball. In it comes to Curtis. Curtis backs his way in. He walked with it. No call. Put it up and in with the left hand. He traveled and got away with it. But the Huskers get the goal 36-27. Weiss will shoot another. It's 39-33. Nebraska by a half dozen. Sanford second free throw. Money ball. 8 for Price. The price is right. It's P-R-Y-C-E. If you care. We may have witnessed through the first 16 minutes and 20 seconds of this game the guttiest performance by a Nebraska basketball team in memory.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What is up, DB?
You sound so loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's probably.
You want me to turn your headphones down a
No,
little
don't
bit?
touch my thing.
All right.
Leave it alone.
I would never.
Come on, man.
The chat's on it already today.
Why? What's? Oh, we just
I
got
know.
here.
They started before we started.
What happened?
All
right.
So Hot Danger came in before the show started.
He came in hot.
He came in hot. He goes, crazy story. I got mugged last night. When I called the police to report the crime, who shows up at the refs from Nebraska-Michigan game? I explained. They told me it was a play on and didn't happen. Headley says, just throwing this out there. If you guys started at 6 a.m., you get to talk to me for an additional 5 hours a week. Dixie says, don't leave out the Creighton highlights. There were none. I'm sorry. We tried. There was not a single one.
Dude, the draft is going to be incredible.
Alex says, Mass still has not been recognized by Peacock.
So
That broadcast was rough.
it was
My God.
not good.
My favorite part, besides just being like, well, that's a white guy. It must be Frager or Mast. We'll figure it out.
Dude,
It wasn't
Did
either.
you see the shoot around the pregame?
Uh-uh.
Ain't get that right either.
My God. It was, and then you've got Nick Stauskas acting like he's calling an alumni game.
Dude, why were you guys just hammering Stout?
He was so bad. He literally, so
I felt bad for him. He was getting hammered.
yeah, be better at your job. Just be better at it. There was a point where
man.
Mara has his hand. I don't remember who was driving to the hoop. Mara has his hand on him and literally shoves him, and that's why he falls to the ground. He's like, I'm not sure I see the foul there. And he got full extension stiff. I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh, I was trying to ease into this, but the chat is picking up where they left off yesterday on a heater.
Yeah.
But I did figure out the draft though.
Yeah, Zach's right. It was Jacobson.
Yeah, so we're doing 6 keepers.
6.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
But we got a lot of people in the chat.
We do. So I think, do Rico and Austin need to have
Dude,
separate teams?
At any time, I don't think so.
Okay, because there's just a lot of people, so I thought maybe we needed more teams to
Because
draft.
at any point, we could have 3,000 views.
Oh yeah, that's just on.
And that doesn't count who's actually in the chat and doesn't say anything.
And that doesn't count this our tracker here doesn't count Facebook very well. Half of our views are on Facebook.
So I think we get 6 keepers.
Okay. Can I talk you down to 5?
That's fine.
Okay.
I knew I wanted more than 4.
That's fine.
And this is
4,
just
6, 8, 12.
totally me being greedy. Because the other
David says, just reminding you, I'm a 2-star old white guy.
See, I locked DJ up. I put him in the Todd category.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think we would fight over him.
The personality type.
Oh, you need a
So the Todds, the DJs, the Stevens,
need some level-headed.
the Sky
yeah.
Max.
Steve, well, actually, I think would be we'd argue over him.
Yeah.
And I'd probably give you Bruin Steve because you go way back with him.
Yeah. And plus, we could always talk hockey.
Yeah. I'd be like, you
And
guys go.
Even though I get
You guys
murdered
go over there and talk some hockey.
on
You guys don't
Twitter
wanna-
with the screen captions, I do feel like I'm going to get my account back.
You guys don't want to
They're
talk.
working on it, at least.
That's good. At least you've gotten some response there.
They're working on it. So I wanted to start off by talking about Shane's Hy-Vee grocery experience.
Let's do it.
but
No,
I
let's do
guess-
it. Let's talk about his groceries.
I just real quick.
Mhm.
Shane, I want you to know something. If you would ever answer your phone, like I would talk.
No, I'm past that.
That's a good one to have ready, Shane.
If you would ever answer your phone, I would price compare with you, because there's only like a handful of people would know that like those pre-made meals have gone up $2 in the last 14 months.
That's fine.
So sometimes I feel like we need to confer.
Yeah, they've gone up a couple bucks.
So how many crab rangoon did you get in the pre-made?
Yeah, it was 4, and it was $6.
Why'd you go with the Salisbury steak and not the meatloaf?
A little bit smaller, and it has the potatoes and when you go in midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get a couple less days on the expiration date.
Compared
to where if you go in like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it'll roll into the next week.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like when they stock it versus yeah.
Did they do that with all the products? Should I be looking for that with milk?
Probably.
Huh, why don't you go be a Berean, man? Do some homework for you, boy.
For some milk?
Yeah. Well, I don't get my milk from there. I get my milk for $2.49 a gallon still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At the warehouse stores? No.
The old fare known as the Family.
Oh yeah.
So the meatloaf,
and I need it. I mean,
Mike could go
it's
through
like
it. I bet
a river runs through it.
Yeah.
There's more in the meatloaf container, so if I get that later in the week, I can have that for a couple days compared to.
All right.
The Salisbury steak is the smaller portion, so
what would you guess, real quick, Shane, before we get to hoops? Because folks they're on one last night and reporting crimes and officiating. Not all of it I agree with.
No,
but so what? Last thing.
What's that?
How much do you think you're overpaying for convenience?
Oh, as opposed to like making stuff himself?
Yeah. So like if you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get the omelet, man, over the hash browns with the cheese sauce, and it's gonna be $7, you cool with that?
but I'm gonna get like in the meal, I'm gonna get like the green beans and the potatoes and stuff like that, which I wouldn't normally buy by itself. So
I mean, that is a whopping 89 cents a can.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't eat the whole can either.
It's amazing. Okay, that leads me to one more question. This is kind of how interviews go.
I got one more.
I have one more question.
That's totally on me.
Do you go in with a taste, or do you know what you want? Because you said you walked out with 2 cheesed burgers, no bun.
That is correct.
They put 2 in there for you?
Yeah.
How much were they?
It was $8.
So it's 4 a patty?
4 a patty?
I mean, that is what it is. But it's like $5 if you get it with the bun straight off the grill, so it's about the same.
Beef
do they
is
mark
expensive
down
now,
because
too,
it's
though.
cold? I know they do that with fried chicken. Not that I'd buy cold fried chicken.
It might even be $6 off the grill.
Yeah.
So,
right.
So it's cheaper.
Stop looking at me. Just going through that
Nothing.
David Dukish head of yours.
I don't even
Great
recognize
shooter.
what we're doing.
Great shooter. Really good shooter from Providence.
I can't stand you. Anyway,
He's a
All
big
right.
recruit for Ed Cooley back in the day.
back to hoops.
Yeah, no, it was. So you said
Notice how I didn't say hamburgers?
Yeah, well,
you said it right that time.
Yeah.
Hamburgers.
I just said burgers.
Burgers is safe.
Yeah, I think burgers. You got. Yeah, make sure you get the B in there if you say burgers.
Yeah, he's
Be worried if you're just like burgers.
hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
Yeah,
Selfish.
burgers is safe.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I nailed a lot except the score.
True.
So clearly, as a guy that said Nebraska is really good early, they're better. They're better than They're still better than I think, because 3 of the last 6 games I would have picked against them ATS.
Yeah.
And 2 of them,
Mhm.
1 Ohio State. They weren't favored, right?
Correct. Yeah, they were not favored against Ohio State.
And I felt like I didn't want to. I didn't pick Nebraska to win.
You didn't want to go against the over the zero.
So I get why the national folks struggle.
Sure, I do think
they're significant. Again, I think they're really good. They're way better than I thought.
Yeah, I was without, and it's not.
I told you about Jamarcus.
Yes.
Told you about Kale.
Mm-hmm.
How Michigan likes to play defense, because this is what I hope doesn't happen. I hope you guys, this isn't like the first or second time you really watched Michigan and you're like, oh, they're not this or they're not that. The way Nebraska plays, I subtly brought in like the chasing and how Michigan likes to defend and where they let you get your shots on the floor defensively, which makes them a good defensive team. I was talking about that. Because I watch them all the time. Nebraska didn't play like that in the first half. The way that they made Michigan play defense versus the way that they like to play defense is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So they had to kind of readjust, but don't diminish Michigan because of how Nebraska made them look. Nebraska plays in a style that is very kryptonite-y to the way Michigan likes to defend. And Michigan had to adjust in the second half.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the stranger games I've seen this year in the sense that the first half and the second half were two totally different games.
Hey, you thought they'd score 1,000.
I mean, they were on pace for it was like 198.
And it was arguably one of the worst second halves of two top 5 teams that you will ever see in college basketball.
From the jump, too. Incredibly sloppy. The turnover started immediately. I mean, at one point, I think Michigan, like 6 minutes in, had 7 points and 7 turnovers and 6 points on the half. Like, it was a super messy half, but
they had 3 field goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was rough. And
I'm going to say that again. They had 3 field goals in a little over 10 minutes and 1.
Yeah. That's hard to do.
So
it is easier when Nebraska goes like 1 for 12 in the second half from 3, or it ended up being worse than that. But
golly, man, that was I felt.
And some of those looks were pretty good. I know Price heat checked a couple, but I felt like he.
You know what they shot from 3 in the second half?
It's 1 for 14.
13.
Yeah.
1 of 13.
Yeah.
11 of 32 on the game.
Yeah, I mean Do
you know how many times they got to the foul line in the second half?
I know it's 4 for the game.
Nice.
I would say 2 in each half.
Yep.
I think that's the part that people have the hardest time with. That disparity.
I understand. I don't think that's a hot take, but I do think.
I thought Michigan was going to have more stylistically. I thought that was too much of a disparity.
Yeah, I mean, they shot 15 more.
19.
And some of that, no, I'm in just the second half I'm talking about.
Oh, in the second half.
I think Michigan was 14 to 17 from the line.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. In the second half. Yep.
It's so weird, too, because of how Michigan plays. Kind of get it up on the glass, really good offensive rebounding team. I felt like a couple of and not all missed fouls are egregious, and I'm not a foul guy, so
I did think there were some.
We're going to talk about a couple of things, and I'm not good at a lot, but 2 in particular, I'm not very good at. I'm not good at the whole officiating thing, and I'm certainly not good at schedules. So
I can help you out with the officiating thing.
I'm gonna try to broaden my horizons and
expand
and be better.
Expand.
But I don't know if I'm going to ever be the guy you folks want me to be when it comes to hammering officials.
So I think this is a multiple things can be true at once situation, right?
All right, well, let's talk about it.
I think Nebraska could have done things in their own control that would have changed the outcome of the game. I also think the game was not well officiated.
Yeah.
I don't know that I think it was as badly officiated as some people do. I think the free throw disparity is a problem. The game didn't play out 23-4, in my opinion. The game, in my opinion, played out like.
Do you know what the score? Do you remember what the score was at half?
50-48.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many points Michigan scored in the second half?
They won 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many points Nebraska scored in the second half?
That'd be 22.
Can't all be officiating.
Absolutely, right? So there's multiple things at play here. What I had a hard time with
a 27-22 half.
Yeah. They had that with about 12 minutes left in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that was around the score. My issue, the biggest thing I had an issue with the officiating was, and somebody asked me, I said I thought it was about a C-. It wasn't an F. It wasn't well officiated, but the thing that bothered me the most was it seemed like Nebraska was getting punished for boxing out on multiple occasions.
So I've talked about this before.
Mhm.
I don't know why they call that. And so I chilled because one of the ones was in high school and the Westside was playing prep and Caleb got underneath a guy, like basically boxed him out almost out of bounds in the corner by the Powerade coolers, and they called a foul on him.
Yeah, it's not a foul. It's not a foul.
So Shane, or remember, that was the morning that Out of Breath Brian called in, and we were talking about calls, no calls, what things look like, how it's hard to officiate. He got into the over the back thing, and it's not a foul. Do you remember that? You see that called on Tennessee. What game were we watching where I was talking about Amen? It was Tennessee and Bama?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Like when they get underneath, Hoiberg does it all the time. Because, I mean, he's big fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they call that.
So I think Ben hit on something here.
BP?
And and he's wrong, but it's fine. I'll explain it.
Are you
no,
so
Kobe's
mad
right
at me?
here. No, I'm not mad at him. It's just he's wrong. Like what happens is you box a guy out and then they jump and then the ref thinks you undercut him. And that's not what's happening.
I agree.
That's not what's happening.
I agree. They're not already in the air.
No, they're boxing
No,
out.
I'm with you.
Then they jump,
I know.
and then the ref is late seeing it, and they go, "Oh, you undercut him."
Bro,
That's not what happens.
I'm 100% with you.
90% of the time, that is not what's happening.
Yeah.
If you see a guy actually get undercut, you know it immediately because it is so violent.
It drives me up. You saw a loose ball one in front of Michigan's bench where Berke had Frenchie on his what?
No, that's fine.
It's French, right?
Who, Yaxel?
No, it's
Morez?
Yeah, no, Mara.
I don't know if he's French.
I don't know. I made that up. Anyway, at least I'm honest when I make stuff up. And so he goes up. Berke's got his bunda in his thigh, and he clearly it's not over the back, but he's got his hands extended over Berke's shoulders.
Yeah.
They just they blow the whistle. They point the other way. We're going the other way. I don't even know what the signal is.
That's because it's not a foul.
For that. No, they called it on Michigan,
Yeah.
which they should have, but
Yeah.
it's not over the back.
Yeah.
It's the same premise, though, when you're boxing a guy out. And just because guys are leaning, like they
Doesn't mean
call
you
that,
undercut him.
I can't.
Like that's not.
I can't stand that.
That's not a foul.
Now,
It's just not.
Now, Ben, I'll rock with you on the Jacobson one because he was in the air.
The second one?
Yes.
The second Jacobson one, that's fine.
Yeah. He said, Joey, he said Mara is trash.
The first Jacobson one was inexplicable.
So, Joey, he's frustrating. I wouldn't call him trash, but as a basketball honk, I've seen him. He's not trash. You just want more out of him.
He's not trash. He's frustrating, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, you want more out of him.
And so you look at it and you go, like, I can understand how it feels like trash.
But I'm not really.
But Nebraska got, I think there were 4 calls on box outs, and I think only the one was an actual foul. And like that matters especially when you're,
I know it.
Like, you can't just reward the team for being bigger.
So
if they're not doing what they need to actually rebound.
It reminds me a lot of the catch, no catch with Buffalo and Denver, where we're arguing about something that isn't really the issue. You want clarity on what it is. And that time it was, when are you down by contact?
Mm-hmm.
So you want clarity. Like,
yeah, you just want to know.
You can see the end result, and you can debate that either way. But when is it down by contact? Start there. That should trump everything else.
Yeah, you figure everything else out.
And why is that different on a fumble than on a catch?
Which doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so they'll address that. Same as this one in basketball. Like, if it's not that, then what is it when you call it?
Yeah.
Like, just
Explain that to me.
And I think
we can go from there.
I think people would be cool. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Because even in this deal with guys that watch a lot of hoops, they're arguing about two different things.
Yeah.
Like they're seeing it differently too.
Well, yeah, and I think there's a couple things at play there. I think some people, and I give you credit this because you're not a referee guy, but when something happens, you're at least open to hearing about it.
Yeah, just let me know. Because in my world,
yeah,
we have to adjust. We're not in control.
Yeah.
So you just have to tell us.
Yeah, give me some
whether
clarification.
I'm a player or a coach. We're not in control.
Help me out a little here so I understand.
Yeah, just explain it to me, and we'll try to figure out how to play within those parameters.
But you have some people that will go so far the other way in a don't make it about the refs thing that they refuse to acknowledge that bad calls happened.
Yeah,
I have a hard time with too. If Nebraska makes 2 more threes in the second half, like we're not having this conversation.
Yeah.
Right? So I understand. That's why I started with there's things Nebraska could have done that were totally outside the refs, and I thought it was a poorly officiated game.
We had an official on the sidelines, and those guys are usually I make buddies with because I like to just know what they're seeing. And so there's this one guy, and he first got my attention because he wears like these sweet rec specs.
Mm-hmm.
They have like, and it's not Chris Frank because I know him. He's taller, skinny guy. He's got these black rims, and they're like protective glasses. And we had this deal. I've been talking to him for like the last couple of years, but we had this deal, catch, no catch. He ruled it a catch on the sidelines, and then he talked about it, and then he ruled it a no catch. It might even have been against Mount South. I don't know. And so I was like, no, I'm just messing with him. I'm like, hey, like, first it was a catch. I'm like, who are you talking about that with? Because you had the best vantage point. Like, who would you consult with? I said, middle field is middle field. And he goes, well, I thought about it, and I was like, oh, catch. Maybe it was just the fact that I was just the uncertainty. I maybe blew it too quick. And I was like, it was something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't love it.
At least he's honest.
But he like I knew exactly what he was thinking. Yeah. I butt tap, which you got to check with those guys. Sometimes you got to hit tap. Sometimes you got to tap. I tapped it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool. Like, see, so that's how I'm going to be.
100%.
Like, that's almost always how. But, and remember, I'm traumatized. Right? Yeah. I again, against that team from Talatrashy in 90, like, I'm traumatized.
Yeah, you got a fumble. Like, you got the whole thing. Yes, I understand.
Just explain it to me. Mm-hmm. And we'll move from there. But last night with, the most egregious, obviously, was Hoiberg. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's huge.
That's a charge. Like it's a charge. I don't know what to tell you. Like he gets out of the circle, clearly. His feet are set.
How about Jacob, like,
going in on Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt,
he backed down. He was like, "Yeah,
he ate it."
Yeah. Which I thought I appreciated that about Max. I was like, I think you're wrong on this one, man. Like, it was
wrong, plain as day.
Yeah, like that's a charge. Like that's 100. That's a charge 100 times out of 100.
Stones to screenshot it, and I was like, ooh.
Screenshot also doesn't tell you because
Jacob is a menace.
Like, it's clearly a charge.
So I was like, uh-oh. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to watch this from afar. Because I never know when, like, Jacob's delivery is the same.
All the time.
So I never know if he's, like, mad.
I don't know that I've ever seen him mad.
Like,
irritated, sure.
That's probably more than where he was like,
yeah, he's like,
he does that. So it's like,
he's like, it's almost like he's disappointed in you.
And I was like, and I know you accused me of always defending DeMarinis, but it seemed like I didn't want Matt to get it. So I was like, ooh, just don't let that one ride, mate. That was a bad call.
That was a bad call.
It was a bad call.
It was a real bad call.
So it was like, but just watching, TK, is TK in the chat?
I haven't seen him yet. But part of the reason I think that game is viewed as so poorly officiated is because you have that call in such a crucial moment, right?
Okay, so what about style? Like, coaches would, like, stylistically, aggressors get calls. How about the way that Nebraska plays? So they're playing with like 4.5 guys on fumes.
Yeah.
They're not getting downhill. There's very little things that are happening in the paint. Weren't the loose ball 50-50 stuff. Like, it's hard because when you're tired, you get a little sloppy.
Sure.
And you're
slow.
gas.
If you're late, a lot of times that is what leads to a foul, is being late on something in basketball, right? So if you're tired, even if you're not sloppy, you might be a little late, which leads to some fouls, which is why the free throw disparity doesn't bother me as much as some of the other things. Was it too big? Yes, I think it was. I think more than Nebraska not getting some calls on offense, I think Michigan got some cheapies on the offensive end.
Okay, but so
personally,
sure.
I didn't have a huge
I
didn't have a huge problem with, like, on offense. I didn't think there was a ton of fouls where Nebraska didn't get the call.
So as a guy that spent 2 years watching Elliot Cadeau, okay?
Yep.
That's how he plays. Dribble, dislodge, low shoulder.
Yeah.
Dribble, dislodge, low shoulder.
But that's not a foul on the defense ever.
Gale Jr. Like this
Sorry,
go
ahead.
So style. No, it's cool. Like we can go back and forth.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. So like when you see guys dislodged or shots fly, and let's say you don't call that when it's happening. I'm just trying to give you a perspective of what I think happens sometimes.
Sure.
So you see the aggressors, they're trying to get downhill, they're getting touched, kind of getting pushed. They don't really get the calls on the shot. The minute that ball gets on the cylinder for like offensive rebounds and stuff, I don't know if subjectively you feel like you owe them one because you've let them play. But a lot of times that's when you'll see the next immediate whistle.
For like a ticky-tack.
Yeah, and what do we see? Oh, now you call it.
Yeah.
And we're mad.
No, yeah.
Right?
That's because I think it's a dumb way to officiate.
I mean, I'm not you guys. They're human, though.
I understand.
So stylistically, I think that's what happens.
I understand that. My problem is
I'm just trying not to help you choke a fool.
My problem with that is
choke a fool?
I want a
choke a fool.
That's what I always do.
My problem
Dude,
is
I think that lady is rich.
I want there to be a consistent level of physicality allowed. And when you officiate like that,
you're a freedom of movement guy, though.
Even if I'm not, though, like it's the same thing as you. If I know exactly what a level of physicality is going to be allowed, or at least in the neighborhood, then I can adjust to that. The problem with the situation with you described, which I do think happens a lot, I think you're right, is that the initial contact is much more physical, and then you call the less physical foul. That's where I have a problem.
So one of the things I think is super lost in this deal is Michigan had to resort, again, this is a guy that's watched a ton of Michigan this year. That's not how they want to play on offense.
No.
So the way that Nebraska defends, like I think like Michigan got outplayed.
Yeah.
So I think they panicked. So the frenetic pace in which what Michigan was trying to do like lent itself to the chaos of the game. Because the way Nebraska is positioned on the courts, there's much more space. So you can see. With the way Michigan plays when they're on offense, it's like like dribble, get crash boards.
Yeah.
So everything gets sucked inward.
Yeah, it's sort of like a black hole. Like everything collapses onto the ball.
That's hard.
Yeah, because there's a lot of physicality there.
That's hard. Conversely, Nebraska, the other way, when they're on offense,
spread out.
It's spread out, and it's passing, and it's cutting, and it's diagonals, and everybody touches the ball. So it's easier to see.
Sure, yeah. There's less congestion.
I'm not letting officials off the hook. There are clearly some bad calls. I'm just saying when you're looking at this in its totality, I can see it a little bit. I can. But, I mean, for how long's a basketball game? 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
I mean, Nebraska was the better team for like 38 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'm not even talking about the last minute of the game because I still felt like execution-wise, Nebraska was better. They just
didn't make the shots.
They couldn't get the offensive shots they wanted.
Yeah, because they were gassed.
So, like
there's a reason they didn't make any shots, and like they were gassed.
Nebraska is, again, a guy that thought they were pretty good. Nebraska is way better than I thought.
I just I
pick? I think I picked 81-69.
I thought it was 87-75. Is
that what I said?
I thought so. It was 12.
Oh, that was Aaron that said 81-69. What I say? I said that's an 87-75 kind of game.
I will say the only.
So there, I mean, that's a good. They let their nuts hang. Like that's a. those things are gonna drop every time they hit the court. And if that's how you play, that's why they give a team like Illinois problems, because
Illinois is not like that.
They're not about that life.
No.
Now they're highly skilled. You let them get cute.
Yeah, if you let them play,
Purdue saw what that was like.
If you let them play free, it's not going to go your way.
Yeah, it's not going to go that way. It's European. I mean, he studies that style.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to out Illinois, but when you can muck it up, not muck it up, but
if you can just make them play hard.
Yeah.
Like make things difficult for them.
Yeah, I talked about having to make shots late at the shot clock. Like I said, that's going to be a key.
That's why you like Jamarcus Lawrence as a kind of an X factor.
Dude, he almost had me looking like flipping Albert Einstein
early.
So did Kale. I was like, listen, I wasn't knocking the Mass narrative. I just thought it was too easy. Well, Mass has to score, and we got to bring these guys out. I'm like, man, that ain't it, because the key for Nebraska's offense is where it's initiated, not who is initiated.
I think the biggest thing for me with the injuries and what they affected was A, depth, and B, the number of shot makers, right? If they're like, once Sanford and Jamarcus got kind of tired and cooled off a little bit, not having Frager or Mast as additional options was really, really detrimental.
And I rocked with him because I would go see him in high school games at ACG or at AGW, one of those.
What's ACG?
ACG is like a tape. It's like a.
Oh, I thought it was a different school.
No.
Oh, okay.
I just had the acronym in my head. It's like this black. It's like.
I agree, David. He said Garcia looked uncomfortable all night.
Okay, so hold that thought. Put a pin in that. I want to come back to that here in a second. So, like when you see Kale do things like, remember he started on like his left, so the left wing. He's moving left to right on your TV, and he kind of circles around. Then he hits the little step back.
Yeah, that was I called it the Steve Nash Classic in the chat.
So. Yes.
Because he just kept dribbling.
Yes.
And he went around the bottom of the hoop.
Kept his dribble.
And then kind of did the fadeaway.
And I was like, okay. That's a high degree of difficulty.
He looked so comfortable, though.
But he looked like he was about that life.
Didn't bother him at all.
That's going to serve them well.
Absolutely. That's the thing, like, I'll give Kale more credit than anything. Because guys like that, if you're more athletic than they are, guys like that drive you crazy because you do not understand how it's happening.
I wasn't trying to get Schmitty to give flowers and stuff like that, but we watch a lot of high school ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get the Hoiberg thing, right? Coach's son, Winner, Jim Rat. I get Jacobson, coach's son. That program wins a ton at the high school level. Then I got into Frager and, the proud moment. But what I'm watching, remember Kale a year and a half ago was a guy you'd put on the court and you'd say, don't shoot it.
Yeah. It was a guy you were trying to survive his minutes.
So as you get later into the season.
Kind of same thing with Hoiberg, to be honest. You didn't want him shooting the ball last year.
Sure. Only when, remember, we talk all the time off air. If he's open, good, but we didn't really like him creating. Right?
No, 100%.
So clearly he's much better at that.
Absolutely.
So you get Kale, who has confidence to take some shots. You're going to get Frager back, who's super close.
Yeah.
You're going to get Rank back, who would you have put him on the plane?
No. If he's sick and I'm worried about, I don't want everybody else getting sick. Airplanes are little petri dishes, man. What are we doing?
Boy, he looked bad.
I would not put him on unless unless
it's not like football, because I've seen a couple of guys that they need that are touch and go that they kind of basically quarantine.
Yeah,
they put them up in first class.
Yeah,
they're like these little pods. They're pretty sweet, and they just kind of chill by themselves. But
unless it was a situation where he had it for 24 hours and been on the antibiotic, so they didn't feel like it was contagious anymore, I'd have a real hard time putting that guy on a plane.
So you get Mass, you get Braden, you have a really confident Kale. Hoiberg's doing Hoiberg things. I want to get to Garcia though.
Okay.
Now this is the coach in me. This isn't like the fan. Would you be honest?
Okay.
He had the egregious turnovers where you're like, WTH. But given how the game was going, do you think he was more deterred to not play him because of how Leo was playing? Or that it was so bad in the first half, you don't think you could come back to him?
I thought it was so bad in the first half you couldn't come back to him. I thought that's why Leo.
I hope not.
I thought that's why Leo got the minutes he did.
Because I think you got to live a little bit with that with Garcia.
But okay, I'm not trying to be a jerk here.
Yeah, you are.
I'm really not. But what am I living with it for? Like, what's my benefit?
Numbers. Did you see how they were playing with down the stretch? You need legs.
I understand that. But if I'm not.
I have no legs. I have no legs.
I don't know what you're doing right now.
Dude, that was an HBO documentary that was traumatizing. Shane, it had that lady in it, Chloe Sevigny. What's her name? A lot of vowels. Savini?
I don't think it's that.
I think it's called The Boys or Boys.
Boys.
And the character's name was Tully. He was a total degenerate. He went to high school. He ate, he drank, or he smoked, he drank.
Mm-hmm.
He, took advantage of sleepy people on couches. He was a bad dude. They beat up a kid with a skateboard. Of course, he was black. Have you not seen that?
No, I have no idea what this is.
I think it's Boys or The Boys or something.
Tim in the chat says Eddie Murphy from Trading Places.
Yeah, him too on the little
skateboard.
Yeah. And the police officer, and he was like, "Hey, where'd you serve?" He was like, "Wang Dang Kong, beat number." No, I was doing the scene from the movie.
Oh, okay. No, I know. No, you were doing it's when you're doing a specific impression, it's not racist. It's fine.
Man, David.
That's why you can't make
kids. Fun. Thank you.
Kids, boys.
I haven't seen that movie.
Hey,
I haven't.
I hear it's a tough movie.
Disturbing. Yes. Watch Kids.
I'm probably not gonna do that.
Yeah. Anyway, did you watch The Rip?
No, I was watching basketball, man.
Can you just do something I ask?
Yeah, I was watching basketball.
Just take an hour 47 out of your day and go watch it.
I should have watched it instead of watching Creighton, but that's fine.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But can I get back to the Garcia thing?
Yeah, so here's my...
I have a soft spot.
Hold on. We'll get to your soft spot. But, I understand in that particular game, you hope you can play him because you need some legs. But in general, let's say I get Mass back, I get Frager back. What is the upside of playing Jared Garcia? Because, I'm still looking for the thing that he does well.
Do you have to play? So he can be instant offense.
Can he?
I'm going to punch you in the
Do you want me to
face
look at the
with
numbers here?
Hey, so, dang, we have so many new people.
He's shooting.
How do I say her name? Is it Savini?
I have no idea.
Chloe. What's Chloe's last name?
Savigny?
No, that's not it.
Sauvignon Blanc?
I hate you.
So Jared Garcia on the season.
Thank you, Jake.
Is shooting.
It's my boy Flaky Jake. Let's go.
34% from the field.
Small town Nebraska kid.
And 20% from three. That's not instant offense. That's instant bad shots.
Okay. So listen, man.
For his career, he is shooting 42% from the field.
Knock it off. I watched a guy by the name
30%
of Vincent Lamar Carter average 7 points his first year at Carolina.
Okay, but this is his 6th year in college.
Oh, God, I hate your guts.
He had 2 and then a JUCO. Wait, it might be more than that. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, so he is in his 6th year.
Were you a Bugs Bunny guy?
I mean, I watched like.
Did you ever see the one where they were having a
Tunes
duel and he took off his glove
and
he slapped him?
Yeah,
that's what I want to do with these glasses cases. But I don't want you mad.
Don't do that.
I don't.
You can do it to my arm. Just don't do it to my face.
Nebraska's got to be able to play with 8.5 guys.
I get it, man, but at some point the liability is a bigger problem than the legs.
I'm just so.
At no point has this been who Jared Garcia is.
Okay.
Why do you have a soft spot?
Sevigny.
Why do you have a soft spot for Jared Garcia?
Sevigny. Thank you, Sevigny. I just call her Chloe.
Why do you have a soft spot for Jared Garcia?
Yes, faking the funk on the nasty dunk. Exactly, A-Train. Exactly.
Okay. Where does your soft spot for Jared Garcia come from?
I want somebody. So I just think now maybe it's going to be kale.
Okay.
And I much rather, even though I don't eat kale, I love kale because C greater than K. Crip Killer. That's a song.
Crypto?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, funny guy.
My bad.
You got jokes.
Why do you have a soft?
Why is everybody getting the DM from my locked account to vote for my podcast?
I don't know. I haven't.
But that's how they do it. That's how they get you, man.
Yeah.
That's
If you-
like a whiny.
if you if you get a DM from DB,
the goddamn.
don't vote for the podcast.
So I can't rock with. Look at Jibs. These guys, they love a good pronunciation key. They're my besties.
70. Is that it? 70.
I don't know.
I like Chloe.
Are you-
She's a good actor.
Are you rocking with Jibs or are we going with David? Because the pronunciation key is different.
Oh no. I don't know. I didn't see David's.
I'm kicking Kobe out of the locker. Wait, so his front office spot is going to be way in the corner.
Sevgeny?
See, they're all different.
Sevgeny? I don't know, man. I don't think we're going to get an answer here.
I'm going to go to
No, I mean, Kobe's right. Comparing Vince Carter to Jared Garcia is absolutely wild.
It needed context. It sounded like trash, though. I'll eat it. That was.
So what's the soft spot for Jared Garcia?
So it's not necessarily him as a person as much as what I think they're going to need.
Okay.
And Kobe, so Kobe, I assume you know because you've listened to me a long time. Like Vince Carter is in my
one of your faves.
Yeah, he's in my top 10
Yeah.
favorite athletes of any sport. I watched that crybaby almost quit at Carolina. He wanted to go back to Daytona. He said Cherry Garcia. So I'm beginning to think A-Train might actually be crazy. Remember I was kind of vibing with him early. He's pretty off kilter.
Oh, Alex?
Yes.
I like him.
Anyway, so there's
What do
one.
we need out of Jared Garcia?
See? Can you tell JB's my boy?
Yeah.
He knows all the inside jokes. One of the few guys on here I've actually traveled with. He said, "Yeah, unfortunately, you're a UNC fan." Okay, Kobayashi. I think Kobe rocks with Duke.
He's a Duke fan, I think. Yeah.
That's fine.
So where's your soft spot for Jared Garcia?
My daughter's a Duke fan. We get along.
That's rough. It's tough out there.
You're rough. Again,
Not him specifically,
you act
but
like you're not listening.
No,
I need some instant offense off the bench when it gets nut cutting time, because this is going to bog down. They're not always going to be playing Michigan. So this is dumb, but this is real.
Mhm.
I much rather have Nebraska play Michigan in the finals of a Big Ten championship tournament than Michigan State or Illinois or even Purdue, for that matter.
I'm fine with Illinois.
Okay.
I think Nebraska can make that game stylistically a way Illinois doesn't.
Yeah,
want to
but
play.
you got to remember, Nebraska is more skilled than you give them credit for. So they're not going to clutch and touch and grab Illinois.
I get that.
They just have to outscore them. I
Okay.
don't know if you want to get into that with Illinois.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because Nebraska can score.
Yeah. I think Nebraska can score in a way that I think Nebraska is much better defensively than Illinois.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing.
And they get them again at the house.
The other thing is I think Nebraska is better at varying the tempo at which they can score than a lot of teams.
So here's the thing, because we saw this last night with Fred versus May, where I either said it to you or to Schmitty, where I thought was going to be the fantastic matchup. It was the way, because in my head, I kind of think I have an idea of how Coach Hoiberg likes to play offense, where it's, Matt actually gave me a credit last night. He said, "That's a great point, DB." I was like, "Thank you, man."
Feel empowered. Feel good.
Kindred spirits. I know you get jealous. It's okay.
And you still wouldn't come to his rescue when JP was killing him.
I don't know how to treat Jacob.
So you just let him get away with murder?
Yes.
He's doing some good things.
I don't know why I think he can't defend himself.
He
but
clearly can.
I am I take Jacob's side with, I don't know why. Because he's not confrontational.
He can a little bit.
He's snarky, but he doesn't want to argue.
Yeah. I would disagree.
Yeah,
I've argued with him a lot.
Who give you 5 seconds you're arguing? I could say something at 7:01 and you're in.
Well,
Hey, that sky, man. It's light blue. I don't know about light blue. It's a different kind of blue hue.
Ravi.
And I'm like, oh god, here we go.
it's really more gray this morning than anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So it's not a soft spot for Jared Garcia.
Okay.
What I'm telling you,
You think he might be able to bring something to the table? That
I need somebody's
because
nut cutting
Frager's won
and nut cutting time. So here's what I hope about Braden.
Okay.
And I might be overthinking this. So let all my basketball nerdy heads holler at your boy. I hope we haven't boxed Frager into this like instant offense guy. Because
No. Okay. Yeah.
he's capable,
Yeah, he's more capable than that.
Yeah, you insert him in the start, like so his
But
roles
he's
can
also
be different.
capable of
And
that.
he's so young.
Yeah.
Like he can do lots. So
I
I don't
think-
want to just be like, ooh, late game situation guy or ooh, instant offense guy. Like Frager is capable of being the best player on the court when you give him 30 minutes.
I agree.
But he's fireplace versus fire force.
And also in the way the team is currently constructed.
so I'm not. I want
Instant offense.
to keep Frager out of it.
Okay, but that is a role that he can fill, even
Yeah.
though it's not the only role.
I need
fill.
a 7th or 8th guy in
Okay.
that rotation that comes in and can hold it down. That's not afraid to take a tough shot.
Yeah, it's got to be Kale.
No, doesn't have to be. It can be. But I also said,
Well-
if you'd let your boy off the hook, but you're not. You're gonna make me squirm and then
I'll listen.
gut me before you take me off the hook. If you just give me a little wiggle room,
All right.
what I'm saying is
Wiggle away.
that's why I loved Kale's versatility on offense, because as his confidence grows,
Mhm.
he's gonna make more good basketball plays than he's not. So if you just
I agree.
if you infuse him with, hey, do your thing, you're not gonna get pulled. Don't look over your shoulder. Be free to be me.
Empower him. Yeah,
I'm cool if it's Kale.
I agree.
I get off the. Did somebody say Cherry Garcia? That is so wrong.
Yeah, that is Alex. Alex hit you with the Cherry Garcia.
Man, what is wrong with A-Train this morning?
I like Alex.
Alex, what part of the country are you in?
Is he here?
Coda to Carter off the glass. He's back in the family.
Man, I love Coda. Ed Coda was like one of my dudes.
Can I just say this?
Loved Ed Coda.
The most underrated, underappreciated point guard in Chapel Hill history belongs to Eddie Bad Teeth Coda.
Ed Coda was a dog. I like him. I liked Ed Coda a lot. He was low key.
All right, A-Train, you're back.
Ed Coda was low key, maybe my favorite
Kendall
player
Blue.
on that team.
Kendall Blue has been, according to the coaches, starting to look the part. But it's a little late. Maybe.
It's also a little late for Jared Garcia to turn to somebody he's never been in his life.
Are you gonna hang?
I'm just saying, man. What are we talking about?
I broke this game down fantastically for you yesterday.
You did.
Gave you some insights, some
You did.
nitty gritty. Didn't pick the low hanging fruit.
You did.
And you're hammering me over my hot take about Garcia.
No, I'm not.
It's the premise of Garcia. It's not the person.
No, but all I said, this is where this started.
Shut up.
This is where it started. Somebody in the chat said, and I agree with them, is the only guy that didn't look like, and I said this in the chat. I said this in the chat last night, real time. The only guy.
Nervous.
Come here. The only guy that didn't look like he could hang for Nebraska last night was Jared Garcia. He's the only guy that looked uncomfortable in that setting. That's what I'm judging this
A little
on.
too frenetic for him because he's kind of frenetic by nature.
He didn't look. He never looked comfortable. He looked.
Hip-hop, hooray.
He looked like he did not fit.
That's frenetic by nature.
That's good. He did not look like he fit the level of that game. He looked like, I'm not trying to be mean.
You act like you're not listening to me.
I'm always listening to you. He looked like to me, and
Speaking
I'm
of which,
not trying to be mean. He looked like a guy.
what's this pen?
That's less Vogler. It's real close to my face. It's Vogler.
Vogler what? What's it say underneath?
Siemens Center.
Do you have that in your ears?
No.
Because why can't you hear?
I wouldn't put a pen in my ear. That would hurt. You got to be careful with the eardrum.
It's the lowlights.
You're not supposed to put anything smaller than an elbow in your ear. I don't know if you know that.
I don't. You're not my friend.
You got to be careful with Q-tips too. They actually weren't designed for that.
You're not my friend. We're just gonna hang on to this Garcia thing. You're
I
choosing
understand.
not
No,
to
I
listen.
understand your point. You need someone who you hoped Garcia could fill that role. My point is, we're talking about two different things. I agree with you. You need an extra person. Maybe it's Kale. Maybe it's Kendall Blue. maybe it's whoever, right? Maybe it's, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that Leo Curtis didn't seem shook by being thrown in there.
Can you believe that they just dust this dude off the heap and he like looks more than serviceable?
You know what I was super impressed by? I know he had 6 points or whatever, which is great. Like you get the extra points there. I was really impressed because he doesn't look like he moves like he doesn't look comfortable moving super well.
The baby giraffe thing?
Yeah, he looks like he needs to grow into his body a little bit still.
Well, he had the bad back. No,
that's Oogie,
yeah,
right?
Never mind.
I think he's just like, hey, I got tall really fast and I'm young and I'm still trying to whatever.
But you know what I said though? Like from a skill standpoint,
no, he's really, really skilled.
His ceiling is
super high.
Yeah,
but I was impressed defensively.
It's glassy. He could break through that.
I was impressed defensively that he was able to, for the most part, still be in and get to the right spots when he needed to.
Yeah.
Which is, especially with a defense that's as on a string as Nebraska's and kind of has to move as one. When you haven't played, that's really hard.
Yeah. No, I am 100% with you.
Like I was super impressed by the minutes they got from Leo Curtis.
I am 100% with you.
And I think moving forward, like that to me, there's a couple things I take away from this game. Number one, Nebraska full strength can play with anybody in the country. Like that's full stop. I don't care where you're playing. I don't care who you're playing.
Healthy. That's a really good.
Yes, like there is no ceiling on what this team can be at full strength. Number two was I feel like a lot about Cale Jacobson and Leo Curtis. Because if you can throw them into that game, you can throw them in anywhere.
And you realize the next time we'll see them, it will be damn near February.
Here in Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this juncture of the season, you just brought up those two guys as potentials.
Which is why, like, if you can throw Leo Curtis in that moment.
Is Sunday February?
Sunday is February 1st.
Okay.
If you can throw those two guys in the moment, I'm not ruling out Kendall Blue either. That's my only point.
I mean, he did come in and shoot that thing with confidence.
I'm not lacking
against Minnesota.
Just that thing wet.
Dang, that thing wet.
How about my boy Schmitty just rocking with me with the basketball in Wisconsin and Minnesota?
Oh,
you know, I harp on that.
Yeah,
because we've been traveling there since these kids were in 7th grade, seeing all these teams.
Oh, those guys,
Wisconsin, Minnesota,
those guys can play, man.
They hoop.
Dude,
they hoop.
Go look at the recent history of guys from Minnesota. Not even just the high end guys like Chet
Garcia.
I said high end. I said high end guys.
No. Not Jared, the other guy that used to play in Minnesota that took the pit stop in Carolina. That had the first stop in Marquette.
And Marquette.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he can play.
Yeah. From right up there, tucked.
Super high end guys. You got Garcia. You got Chet Holmgren. You got Jalen Suggs. But then you've even got what
happened to. I need to ask my guy Trae. What happened to Suggs' hair?
Oh, I haven't seen him lately. I haven't watched a lot of Orlando Magic basketball.
See, every time I used to see this dude in the gym,
mm-hmm.
he had a hat on. Stop wearing hats.
Oh, is it like running away from him?
Listen, like Ben Affleck in the movie, that Joker is gone, baby, gone.
No, it's Gone Girl. It's a different one.
No.
Don't matter to me.
Pick the Card movie, though. 60 Seconds with Shane's favorite character, Nick Cage.
Big Nick Cage guy?
Nothing going on. And he's headbanding it.
Oh, he's trying to do the LeBron?
Man, Google Jalen Suggs. You didn't watch the Magic the other night?
No.
Oh, is that a hot take? It's too much sports?
No, I'm not saying too much.
It is the NBA.
I'm not saying it's too much sports.
Since you go to the low-hanging fruit of rowing and friggin'
I'm not saying it's too much sports. I'm saying I wasn't watching the Magic. I haven't watched a lot of Magic this year.
Oh.
They're not high on my priority list. They were earlier in the season.
Apparently listening to me isn't either.
I always listen to you, DB. I thought earlier in the year I watched a little bit of Magic because they might be good, and I was curious with the Desmond Bane trade, but
yeah, so Kobe, that kind of started the Wisconsin coup about why that got
ooh, that is rough.
What's the curmudgeon that fell out at Wisconsin?
Jalen, shave that thing.
Oh, you went to it?
Just shave it, man.
Yeah, man.
Which curmudgeon? Bo Ryan?
That guard, yeah. So there's this stretch of a couple of really, really good players in Wisconsin, Kobe, that the whole Ryan guard coaching thing could, like, you got to be better in the state. Like, if you go back to, like, 2018 or 19,
mm-hmm.
and you look at, like, the top players from Wisconsin. Who's the guy we wanted? And he ended up going to like Buffalo. Do me a solid. Pull up Buffalo's basketball roster. ETG wanted him to play, and he's transferred twice already.
This year?
Nope. Yes, this year.
Okay.
I think it's Buffalo. Super player.
He's from Wisconsin?
Yep. Good football player, good basketball player. He was like top 12 in the country.
You think he should be from this year? Or still on the roster this year?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what we got.
Give me Buffalo. Just give me names.
Look, we got a guy from Minnesota, Daniel Freitag.
It's Freitag.
Okay, yeah, he's from Minnesota.
Okay. So, like, yeah.
He played at Wisconsin briefly.
Yeah.
But he was from Minnesota.
So, Freitag, like, guys like that in that Minnesota, Wisconsin area are what was getting that staff in trouble. But I think Hero was the catalyst. Even guys like Garcia from up there in part of the country with like Minnesota and Wisconsin, they play so much good basketball.
Yeah, they really do.
And those guys weren't staying. Those guys weren't staying in the area.
No, I think that's part of the frustration with the University of Minnesota basketball, right? With as many good guys as come out of that state,
and they got
to not figure out how to be better.
Like Team Tyus is up there.
Yeah,
they used to have D1.
No, they have really good AAU
like
programs
their
up there.
shoe circuit is.
I mean, Creighton's gotten several really good players out of Minnesota.
I've seen Mac up there.
Yeah, I mean McAndrews from Minnesota.
Yeah,
like
I've seen.
They've gotten really good players out of that state, so they play really good basketball up there.
Yeah, we
play good basketball in Iowa.
40-pieced your boy Ty Davis up there.
Oh, not my boy Ty Davis.
40-pieced that dude.
He's from Alabama, isn't he?
Yeah, that was in Birmingham.
That's different.
But I'm just saying.
Not my boy Ty Davis.
40-pieced. That was in Vegas.
How many times in the group chat I'd be like, why is that guy playing?
So,
and they're like, because he's good for the culture. And I was like, he's bad for the basketball.
Do we even put a pin in the balloon and get to like?
I don't even want to get that. We can if you want to, but like,
no, you can't do that.
We can talk about.
I have to cover Nebraska's losses when they lay an egg in football.
I just don't even know what there is to say about it. Yeah, you could fire this team into the sun. Like, it's. I mean, you want to talk about it's one of the most.
Are you a Violent Femmes guy?
I think there's a couple songs I like.
When I was walking,
up and I'm so strung out.
I think it's Blister in the Sun.
Yeah. Let me go on.
That is
like a blister in the sun.
You and Coach Mack are
big
Violent Femmes guy.
Fire him into the sun, man.
I didn't have the Stones because I love him, but I haven't seen him since my guy's funeral. But there was a picture of him sitting on the bench. But I am going to ask him for one of those quarter zips.
Do it. They're pretty sweet.
Although his arms are so goddamn long.
Well, you don't want
a 2X long.
You want to get somebody else on staffs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who
he had a look on his face. My man
is Ziegler about your size.
Yep.
Yeah, get one from Ziegler. Don't get one from
he was sitting on the bench, and my man was like this. He had his chin tucked in the palm of his hand. I said, "Yeah." Max thinking about that 6 handicap.
I was gonna say, I said I thought he comes back next year.
You said 2 years. I laughed.
I'm not sure he comes back next game.
I said 2 years.
He might just hop on that PJ and be like, Al, it's all yours, big guy.
I chuckled.
I wouldn't blame him. All right, coming up next, we got Brian Christopherson.
A different Garcia Dixie, not Jared.
No, the one, what's his first name? It's Dawson.
Yeah.
Dawson
the
Garcia.
guy that went AWOL on Carolina after he left Marquetti.
No relation. We'll talk to Brian Christopherson coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just stay present. Like, it's very easy to get caught up in the moment and the drama and the emotions of it all, right? It's easy to get frustrated and annoyed. Who knows what's going on? Was he really hurt? Is his bell rung? Does he want to catch a break? Because I felt him getting tired. But at the end of the day, I just got to stay locked into the moment. Prepare my body for the next however many minutes the match is going to be. Again, this is, there's a saying that this sport is, 90% physical and the other half of it's mental, right? It takes more than 100%. So I think just, staying mentally focused and locked into those big moments.
closer. It's closer. I mean, we're not there yet. I thought we had given up 2 offensive rebounds at halftime, and then they came out and got 10 offensive rebounds in the second half. And, part of that is we were changing some things to try to take Barry Wallace away, and now all of a sudden on some switches and things like that, we got a little, guards needing to box out their bigs, and we did not do a good job of that. And so there's plenty of room for growth to continue that. I mean, obviously, we know you can't rebound well for 20 minutes and win very many games in this league, only if you're doing a lot of other things right. But I think that this is a team, Illinois, coming in that was number 1 in the nation in the offense that they produced from the free throw line, and also one of the top teams in the league at taking care of the basketball. And today we forced 17 turnovers, and we also made more free throws than they attempted.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Sanford with 4 or 5 rebounds already. Here's Hoiberg. Huskers up by 4 with the ball. Big possession here. Bukengel looks left, finds Hoiberg. Hoiberg comes right, shoots a pass on the right side over to Price Sanford. Back to Hoiberg. Comes down the left lane line, all the way in. Double pumps, puts it up and finishes. Sammy, my boy.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brian CHRISTOPHERSON from Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
B-Sizzle, it's no fun when I can't see you with your chest puffed out. Like what's going on, man? You on the move?
No, I'm not on the move. I'm at my kitchen table like normal. I left my MacBook charger in at my parents' house yesterday in Omaha, and so I got to go get a new one or meet my dad to get the old one. So anyway, my computer is not available to me for like an hour.
Time out. BC, you're a grown up, right?
Not most of the time. No.
You could potentially meet Pops.
Yeah.
To get the charger.
Yeah, after he had a pacemaker put in last week, I might make him do that. I might make him come meet me in Gretna or something. Yeah, that's what happened.
Extra 20 minutes.
BC, just drive to their house, man.
I probably will. I probably am going to get another one because I need a spare. So
or that, but I didn't want to suggest. I don't want to pretend to know your finances, but I was like, you just told me he wasn't feeling good. Why would you make him meet you halfway?
Oh, he's on the mend. He likes to get out, and I don't want to paint myself in a bad light. I was over there yesterday because I am that kind of caring son, so I want that to be put on the record. But that's why I cannot have my chest puffed out in front of you right now.
He said meet halfway to get it. Dude, that's something Caleb would do. Hey, Dad, can I get my can you meet me halfway to get my laundry?
Caleb would come to Omaha, go
drop it off on my porch.
Go drop it off on the porch, not say a word to you, and then drive back to Lincoln. Yep. He would be in the car for an hour 45 minutes to be at his house for 12 seconds.
Oh, BC, that is a gem.
You have to know your people though, right, Damon? I mean, like my dad's retired. And if I tell him, like, hey, I could use one favor. Could you meet me at the Gretna Outlet Mall? That's like a field trip for him. That's like exciting.
I get it. And he probably feels like, hey, like he gets to be a dad.
Let's meet at McDonald's or whatever. And, share a hash brown like that makes him feel good. So I just want to punch back that I'm being a bad son here.
BC, he's an absolute joke.
Go get a Cinnabon at the pumping pantry.
Exactly. Exactly. There's opportunity.
BC at what point or in what order during this basketball game did you go from I hate the way this game's being officiated, that's not good, to I'm proud of this team versus they're better than this team? Like, what were the order of operations? Please bless my dear Aunt Sally of math for how you viewed this basketball game last night.
I think first and foremost, I would emphasize, there's pride in watching that team play. And also, I was sort of in that grumbling crowd about 5:30 p.m. yesterday that was like, okay, without Mast and Frager, I'm not as juiced up about this game as I should be, even though it's two top fives. And within about, it wasn't maybe the first media timeout, but by the second media timeout, I was like, you know what? I don't know if their legs are going to hold up. And in the end, that sort of, I thought, did them in as much as anything. The legs were jello on the jump shots, I think, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But they can play any combination of their top seven and go toe-to-toe with anybody. That's what I left this game thinking. Like, you could, obviously it helps when you have Frager and Mass. I thought Ravi made a good point that, like, whether Mass scores, 20 yesterday if he played or 9, the fact that if you would have had him, like, available as another option as the other guy is tired, and when you have Frager and him to play off the other guys, it makes them tough over the long haul. So that's what they were missing. They just missed that depth piece on the offensive end late. But yeah, that the five they put out there, they weren't backing down from anybody. And I'm done putting limits on this team.
Right.
Like that's where I'm at. Like now Sunday's going to be a war. That's a tough game. And I brought it up last week on the show. I've been kind of hesitant. I'm excited about, I like a good conference chase, guys. Like, I like that sort of stuff. Like, the idea of Nebraska, like, being in the thick of a conference chase in basketball is something I've never felt in my lifetime. Even, like, when I was a kid and I watched them all the time, back to Studio 66 and the Raycom days, and Danny Nee when he had some great teams. I never thought that.
Yeah. I was a big Studio 66 game of the week guy. Yeah.
Yeah, with Doug Bell and as the host in the studio.
And John Sunvold is like, "Hey, you are looking live."
This is so dumb. Watching those, that was the first time I was like, man, I wish we had a Sonic in Omaha.
Or Phillips 66.
Dave Armstrong, wow. He was the wow guy. If you remember him as the announcer. But yeah, going back to then, I never thought Nebraska was even in a conference race, even with those really good Danny teams. I always thought, like, Kansas was going to end up, or whoever, at the top. And I'm fully invested in this thing now, these last 10 games. And so they'll have to dust off the disappointment, which I suspect they will, and be ready for a battle Sunday, because that's going to be a dogfight to the finish as well. But this team can play with anybody, and anyone who's doubting that anymore, they're just not watching what we're watching.
So I think that's an interesting point there, BC, because so much attention has been focused on, the rankings and moving from top 10 to top 7 to top 5 being, highest ranking in team history. And then of the undefeated record of, like, oh, how far are they going to make it without taking a loss? We haven't talked a lot about the fact that Nebraska could win the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big deal. This is the best conference in the country by I think a pretty decent margin. The Big 12 would probably have a word, but Nebraska could legitimately win the best basketball conference in the country. And I don't feel like last night when you tweeted about it, that's the first time I've heard somebody talk about it.
Yeah, it's sort of been on my mind the last week or so, and I've been hesitant to say that. But and you got to go ball out here against Illinois and Purdue. I mean, there's not much margin for error to win the league. But last night kind of got me to that tipping point where I was like, I felt like Nebraska outplayed them for more than 35 minutes of that game. With rubbery legs in the second half, and so why not? Like, why not have that conversation? You don't think they have that at East Lansing where they, set out as that's the goal to win the league, and then you go from there. Like, so that's an interesting part of this season to me. And, I'm writing my game story last night, and I'm starting to watch the Indiana Purdue game with like the standings in my mind. So yeah, that's a fun part of this conversation. It should be. I hope, Nebraska can hold their home floor like they've done so well. And if they do that, they're going to be in that conversation until the end, and then the rest of it will take care of itself. Like if you're fighting for that the last week of the season to win the big, you're a 1 or 2 seed connected to that. So that's sort of where my brain is right now.
Yeah, I'm not even going to stretch you because I know I'm a basketball nerd, but watching Purdue, I already fast forwarded to Nebraska post Illinois, and I'm like, Lawyer can't throw it in the ocean the last month. How are they going to score against Nebraska? And I get it. TKRs is Trae Kaufman ran. I think he's good. He bounced back last night. But is it weird to watch that game and think this is the same Indiana team that Nebraska handled pretty good?
Yeah, a little bit, but that's also like connected to the whole thing in Nebraska. It's like week by week, there's been like a step you take as like a Husker basketball follower, where like in December, you're looking at like, was it the Creighton, Wisconsin, Illinois stretch? I was that guy like, man, I hope they get one of the 3 sort of, like you're in that mode. And then you shift.
That's what we would do with football.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you started shifting that a little bit by early January. And now, like, to your point, Damon, like when I'm watching another team or like Purdue scuffle with Indiana, Nebraska's at that level, and maybe then some, of the Boilermakers. And I don't want to disrespect what Purdue can be, and that they could come into Lincoln and win. All these games are going to be decided by small margins, and that's the great thing about Nebraska's team is they understand that game to game, like how tough it is in this league. But they should have walked out of Ann Arbor last night. I think they already believed in themselves. But if there was like even that smidge, as we say in Midwestern talk, that smidgen of doubt, that they didn't have the goods, that should be completely erased from their minds, which has to be a great thing going forward. I mean, now we'll see how they deal with the tough loss, but it's a tough loss where you also sort of got that like that extra stamp of confirmation, like, yeah, you are this team that you think you are.
You're the most BC thing ever.
Yeah, just a smidge.
The same guy that's meeting his dad at the halfway point to get his charger. Oh God.
That was a maybe. We don't know that we're gonna do that. I haven't made the request, and you guys have kind of talked me off of making that call, but I think he would like it.
If it's good for your dad,
maybe he needs to get out. I get it.
BC, don't let me kid you. Like, I'm kind of jealous, right? Like, you guys go golfing and you go with your brothers and you travel together, man. I miss my dad. Go meet him halfway if you want to. It's like, from here on out, every time I see you, if you had a hat on, I just want you to spin it backwards like an Over the Top, because that was the song where they had the Meet me halfway. That's all I'm gonna think of every time I see you now, BC. When you got a hat on, just spin that thing around backwards.
But I feel like at my age, you can only spin your hat backwards if it's a new era MLB cap, because I think those do look the best backwards. Otherwise, you get some looks sometimes. I like 5 years ago, I passed that point of being able to be backward hat guy. But I will do it around my father just for you. If you stop sending me DMs to vote for your podcast, Damon.
So that's
don't click that link.
I'm not clicking.
Click that link.
The one that I clicked on that was Ben Harstock's, allegedly, was how I got. You know, like, yeah. But can I go back to something real quick? Because I'm gonna turn your good-natured, shucksy smidge, meet me halfway. Did you say split a hash brown?
that was a joke. We'd get our own.
Are you sure? We'd get our own. dude is a gym. All right. So along those lines, now we're gonna toughen up. We're back to puffing our chest out.
Okay.
If you're giving the pep talk to Nebraska basketball, and you're looking at this remaining schedule, what are you starting with from a confidence standpoint? Brian Christopherson, Herb Brooks. What?
Well, Herb Brooks gives a speech in Miracle where if you played them 10 times, they might beat you 9. I'd twist that speech and say, you played Michigan 10 times, you might beat them 5. You know, like
I'd rather play Michigan than Michigan State or Illinois or.
I mean, isn't the pep talk like, hey, there's nobody on your schedule that's better than the team that you just almost beat with
it's a bad match. Michigan's a bad matchup for Nebraska.
And still you felt like they were controlling most of that game. And I listened to Dusty May do something, I think it was on like Field of 68, and he said, you know, actually when Rink was questionable or wasn't maybe going to play, that kind of threw us for a loop.
Shook him.
Yeah, and maybe there's some truth to that. I think there's also a little bit of protection of his own team going on with that. I'll tell you what I would throw some pep talk at guys. I don't want to name names, but I was listening to like different college basketball pods. They're all out there now. Like every night you can find somebody talking about what's going on. And I still think there's that. It's not like it was like a month ago, but there's some people still out there outside our bubble that are talking like they're kind of the cute, cuddly team. Like it was immediately like about what Michigan did.
Now we're back to cuddling.
Yeah,
man. Come on, man. We're still in the pep talk thing.
No, this is the pep talk. It's that there's still people out there because of the name on the chest that walk away from that and made the whole thing about Michigan. I was like listening to some commentary. I know I'm looking at it from the Nebraska angle, but I was like, some of you guys are bearing the lead. Nebraska went in that game without 2 of its main guys and outplayed them for 35, 36 minutes. That I don't know. I kind of reinforce that with my guys. Maybe have that chip on your shoulder that like you're always going to get that treatment that, hey, you don't have that Michigan name or whatever on your chest. From some of the commentators, and you don't want to pay too much attention to that. I know inside the walls, but there could be some useful fire from some of that stuff where I still think there's people who cover college basketball regularly who don't know what to do with Nebraska and still like almost can't take them seriously sometimes when I listen to them. And I'm like, you're not watching it well enough if that's where you're still sitting.
All right. So if you're kind of looking at this, the remaining portions of the schedule. You said something about Dusty May that I actually think has a little credence, though, because it's kind of like Illinois playing without, one of their key backcourt mates in Boswell, right? Then Wagler gets to go off. And sometimes when you don't have a guy, other things change, other people step up. So it's not always linear. I'm always terrified to say, hey, if they had such and such, then this. But the butterfly effect is crazy in sports. That'd be like, if Jet Tamala didn't play and we didn't know right before we game plan him, there's a great chance we'd give up 300 yards rushing. Right.
Sure. Yeah. It's just a totally different.
It's a totally. They got 2 capable guys they can hand the ball off to.
Sure.
Right. So I kind of understand that. But if you're looking at Nebraska as in its totality, if everybody's available, what kind of team do you think gives them problems or would give them problems? And is that team still remaining in the Big Ten?
I'm looking at who I think that is. I don't know that there's a surefire team where I say that's just an automatic problem for them. I said last week, like, I think everybody's kind of focused for fair reason because it's right in front of us on this stretch where you play Illinois and then Purdue within 10 days of that. But that double dose of Iowa, I think, is still like a huge factor in like the big race and all that stuff. Like, I think Iowa.
Is it the limited possessions?
Yeah, and I mean they've just got the ability, I think, to with their lineup to to get on a heater against you. And they're not going to back down. That's just one of those games where when those two teams, it doesn't matter honestly, like who's on the roster. It feels like you're in for a 40-minute fight. And so I think both those games against Iowa, it doesn't matter which gym they're in, are going to be dogfights. And so that's still in the back of my mind as you talk about trying to handle your business if you're going to be a team that is in the conference race to the end and all that stuff. So I don't know if like you guys would be better versed on it than me stylistically if you think Iowa is a problem or not. But I just think
you mean me and Shane, as in you guys?
Yeah, you and Shane. If you could get Shane on the mic to break it down, that would help. But I do think Iowa and Nebraska are just they're gonna play some games that I expect will go down to the very wire. So that, I mean, those are two games still left that people shouldn't just put to the back burner.
I do think Iowa's interesting because I think it's one of the only opportunities that Fred Hoiberg actually has to possibly get outcoached.
So I don't know.
Like in terms of guys that I think can like hang with him as a coach.
He didn't get outcoached last night, but
Agreed.
The second half was really about coaching strategies.
I agree. But like McCollum's a guy where it's like that guy can go toe-to-toe with
and
anybody.
He's going to limit your possessions.
And so like Painter, you could probably put in that category, but nobody else, like you're not getting outcoached by Underwood. You're not getting outcoached at Rutgers or by Collins or, like I'm going at like by Cronin. Like McCollum's about the only guy that I look at and I go, like he could put together a game plan.
BC, the teams that can't give Nebraska. I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
And I don't know how much you enjoy getting into the nitty gritty of hoops, BC, but these are the teams that can't give Nebraska fits. Are those kind of one-dimensional primary ball handler offensive initiated teams like Donovan Dents at UCLA? Like they're not going to cause Nebraska fits. Like I don't know if Sturtz needs help to initiate the offense. Like, you saw what they did with Michigan's backcourt and the dribble heavy stuff from like Cadeau. But where Illinois coincidentally could give them problems is offense could be initiated by like two or three or four different places on the floor. I think you have to be a team. That's kind of a deep cut, but I think you have to be a team like that. That could you get the ball out of like they made Fears.
That's
look
why Michigan State couldn't score on
average.
them.
They made Fears look fairly pedestrian, even though he's really good.
Yeah, he's not at all.
Because he's kind of their one-stop shop initiator. Like I just don't know if you want to make a living with how Nebraska does their scout, being a team that plays like that.
No, that's a good point.
Well, thank you.
Sunday is going to be a heck of a test, no doubt about it. I mean, Illinois is fully capable.
That place is going to be a madhouse.
It is, and it should be. Yeah, they need to be in it together. That's one of the beautiful things about Husker basketball is that it wasn't always full, but PBA has been largely filled even in some years when they weren't close or they were building to where they are now. And so I hope everybody capitalizes on this moment and appreciates this ride and the nerves that go with it. That's sort of the beauty of it. Like last night you're getting ready, I think, and I felt like a little nervous for those guys. You're kind of around, and basketball's a little different than football. You go to the press conferences, there's only 12 guys or so, and it's sort of the same 5 or 6 who come up, and you get to know their personalities a little bit more sometimes. And so you do have that kind of connection with them, and you want this story to have sort of that special twist to it. And so that's why last night when you watch them, even when the odds are sort of stacked, sort of maximize what they have on the floor and make a team just like Michigan left the floor last night knowing they'd been through it, and that's a great thing in sports when you can do that to the other side.
BC, funny enough, the game last night was so big that it did something I didn't think was possible, and that was overshadow Nebraska's 2026 football schedule release.
Yeah, it did.
When you look at
here we go.
When you look at the schedule that was released, I think you look at it and you go, okay, Nebraska's got to win their 3 non-con games, right? And then you look at, I think most people look at Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State as the games that will be toughest to win. Which of the other ones do you consider, I guess, coin flip games? Would that, like, I don't know if, like, is that the right term when you're looking at the other 6 games on the schedule?
Yeah, probably. I would highlight, I mean, obvious, it's all Captain Obvious stuff when you talk about schedules. Everybody has the exact same takes. I mean,
Not me.
Yeah, except Damon. I mean, Michigan State, Maryland. I think there's an opportunity there right off the bat. Like, obviously, with Fitzgerald's first year, there's going to be some juice around that first Big Ten game. I think they play Notre Dame the week before, though, which is kind of interesting to me. But I mean, there's an opportunity there to start strong. The games I kind of circled, what to your question, I think, Ravi, is like Washington on Halloween. That feels a little. If you want to make comparisons, and I know Damon loves this conversation. If you want to make comparisons, like it's a little USC-ish from last season to me. Like there's that potential to really get one at home against a solid squad, but one you can go get that and build some momentum into November. And then I look at a game like November 14th at Rutgers, which is not the first one people will run to, but when you look at the contest around it, that's obviously one you'd love to go get. You want all these games. I mean, November there's no trips out west. It's going to be cold and gray football, and we're going to see how much by that point Nebraska's grown on the trenches and both sides of the ball. And I wrote it in my little breakdown is, within those walls, you just have to view this as an opportunity. You already knew the teams that were on the schedule. You knew there were 3 playoff teams coming. And there was nothing about the way that it lined up, which honestly pointed my arrow up or down either way. It's like, okay, that's just the map now. Let's go.
My favorite thing about the schedule is if you're a glass half empty guy, you're like,
oh my gosh. In November, they have 3 away games.
That's how that guy talks.
Illinois, Rutgers, and Iowa. Daunting. Only 1 home game in November.
Hey, I wrote that.
Here's the thing, though.
Yep.
Nebraska is at least going to want to play like that. So if I'm a coach, this is just me and you, BC, chopping up like back in the old days. We're on the sidelines shooting the breeze. If you're like, hey, DB, if you're going to play a tough schedule down the stretch, how do you want to play? I would say, regardless of opponent, stylistically, I just want it to fit.
Okay.
Right? So Illinois, Rutgers, Ohio State, Iowa are going to play in a way I want to fit. That fits the way that I want to play. At least I'm not going to SC. I'm not going to Oregon. I'm not going to Seattle, where teams can spread me out. I might have weak legs. If I'm gonna play on the road late, I want it to fit my style. If I'm not gonna cry about only having 1 home game in November, could I convince you that at least I don't have to change my temperament for how I want to play? Champagne, cold phone booth. Piscataway, going to play that thing in a phone booth. Ohio State, you get at home. And Iowa, you play the same anyway, regardless of where that game is. Could I convince you of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you sure, or are you just doing that because I set the whole thing up? Puff your chest.
No. November, everybody wrote about November because rules 2 and 12 in November. And so it's like you got to have 3 or 4 takes. And so there's one of them.
Therefore he should probably concede.
No, not, but that I'm just saying what happened there. And
but he's 2 and 12.
The schedule in November, offhand, when I saw it initially, it didn't like just knock me over. And there was nothing about that schedule and how it's set up that changed my mind at all. Like I didn't see it as like, this is more difficult because of how the map is set up. So I can totally go with what you're saying, because that's honestly how I felt when I didn't see it until 6 o'clock actually, because I was traveling from Omaha, and when I was, it was like, all right, there it is. It didn't cause me to have hot takes really. I had to force a story out about it, to be honest. I like the fact that they're playing Washington right after the bye at home. And that's why, to Ravi's question, that game on October 31st, I think that's a big opportunity to set a tone before what you're talking about in November. And there's a good run early in the season where you can definitely get to 5-0 if you've got yourself together and you've got a better team than you did a season ago. So it's a tough schedule, but we knew it was going to be a tough schedule. And I like where the bye fell too after 7 games in the season. I think it's kind of in the sweet spot where you want it.
So let me ask you one more thing. I'm gonna talk slow, not just because I normally talk slow, but I'm gonna give you a chance to think at the same time. Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota, at Michigan State, home against Maryland, home against Washington, at Rutgers. Is it myopic to think Nebraska could be favored in all of those games? One more time.
No,
Ohio, Bowling Green,
yep,
North Dakota, at home against Maryland, at home against Washington, on the road against Rutgers. I'm even going to throw in at Pat Fitzgerald-led Michigan State Spartans on September the 26th.
Yeah, they could be favored in all those games. I mean, if not, it'll depend what Washington does early on, but they definitely could be in that one too if Nebraska's playing well.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I
I'd say
didn't want to stretch it.
I think this is in the same conversation as Washington.
Illinois?
At Illinois.
No, I
Illinois
understand.
loses everybody.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just trying
Everybody.
to give perspective. I know I get paid by the university to be a mouthpiece, even though they've never cut me a check.
I don't.
Although they should. If we're being honest. They should definitely have me on payroll. BC, am I stretching it?
No, not at all. I mean,
should
at
Rule
least-
quit
at
coaching
least-
because he's 2-12 in November?
Absolutely not. You know that I am an open-minded guy. Like, hey, they made some changes. I'm excited to see what that brings, yay or nay. And I think over in those walls, you put the schedule up, you'd be like, there's a lot of opportunities there, and there's a lot of games where Nebraska, if they're a better football team in 2026 and go into it, as like you say, they will be the favorite. So at least 5 of those games of the 7 you named, and Ravi even brings in Illinois, Nebraska would be favored, and the other 2, if they're not, would be like coin flips. And
yeah, you're
so,
less than a
This
field goal.
is exactly why I hate schedule talk.
Mhm.
It is because players couldn't care less. Like, they don't know.
yeah,
And coaches aren't afforded the luxury.
right.
You may be able to get into like strategic planning and like your rests for buys, but in terms of penciling in opponents, like, you can't get past week 1. And then week 2, the next week when you're trying to develop a program and you're coming off of 2 7-win seasons, is you have no choice but to have the next game be your most important game. And it's not hyperbole.
Yeah. I know that players don't think about it the way people on the outside do.
God,
Not
they
at
get
all.
so mad, and I love it. It's like,
Yeah.
that's how you should be. Stay in the moment.
That's good. Yeah, it's tough when you play 3 college football playoff teams. That's also what you want. Like, they're going to be good. And those guys over there, as they get into their conditioning, mat drills, all that stuff, they're going to expect to be good no matter what people are saying. And so hopefully you have the right sort of dudes, like you're saying, that are just like, let's just attack the day. And when we get there, we're going to believe we can go toe to toe with that squad. I mean, same thing was happening. If the Husker hoops team believed everybody on the outside, yesterday would have been a 15, 25 point game the other way where you just concede it. They didn't. They went into it like, no, this is who we are. We know what we're capable of. We've built this confidence through early successes this year, and they played like it. And there's always the capability for this football team to do that this fall as well.
There you go.
BC, that's exactly why you're Lincoln Hawk and not Bull Harley.
I got to get my dad on the horn now and make sure that he gets up and gets his butt to work and gets me that Charger.
Hey, could he get his who would get their CDL license first? You or your dad?
Oh, my dad.
Oh, then he's totally Lincoln Hawk. Okay, that's cool. Meet him halfway, BC, and don't split a hash brown.
Flipping the hat right now.
That is Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7 BC. Appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Coming up next, we got Andy KENDEIGH from KETV here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
I give our guys all the credit in the world for the fight that they showed in that game from start to finish. And you're giving up. You got Cale Jacobson out there guarding Marez Johnson at 6'10", and built like a Greek god. And Cale battled him every step of the way. And I thought in that first half our pace was great, our movement. I did think we ran out of gas a little bit in the second half. And if we make our layups, I think we win this game. And I thought Sam made a hell of a play at the end, getting his feet outside the paint, getting established for a couple seconds, and taking one on the chest. But unfortunately, they didn't give us the call. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in that situation. But our guys, again, they fought through adversity. They battled. And listen, that team is projected by a lot of people to win a national championship. You got no Braden, you got no Rink, you got no Oogie, you got no Connor, and you fight them all the way to the finish, and you lose by a basket. I mean, that shows the character of our team, and it also shows that we can compete with anybody in the country. And I told them in the locker room, we haven't had this feeling in a long time. It's been almost a year since we have had that dejected feeling in a locker room, and they were hurt. They were hurt by it. We've responded great when we've had a big emotional win, and now we're going to find out what we're made of and how we're going to respond to a tough loss like that.
I mean, he's got a lot more in him. This guy's, they've wrestled before, and he's a hard guy to wrestle, and all these guys are. But this guy in particular, Feldman's, he's short, strong, he's a good athlete. So sports, made one little mistake, and in overtime, and that caught him. So I'd rather have him on my side though, moving forward. So he'll be fine. He'll learn from it. Got a little piece of humble pie. Maybe a little whipped cream on it too, or ice cream. I don't know.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Andy KENDEIGH from KETV. AK, what's going on, man?
Hey, boys. Good morning.
How we doing?
Doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Should I tell him? AK, you know I'm closet. Closet crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Wow, you didn't have to be that convincing.
Zero hesitation.
So apparently my pen exploded and I had no idea. So is all over my mouth and I didn't have time to really go to the restroom. So what I did was,
to be clear, you did have time, you just chose not to.
I cleaned my face with cleaning product and water. So if I keel over at any time during this interview, you know that I made a bad decision. Because there are all these cleaning spray bottles, and I figured this was my. Why are you mad?
I'm not. I just go ahead. I'm fascinated to hear what the philosophy was here.
You gotta understand though.
My philosophy is it's a disinfectant. It kills germs. It would probably get the ink off my lips.
It did the job. Did the job, right?
Yeah, and it didn't smell like bleach, so I should be fine.
Should be.
You know, bleach isn't the only thing that can hurt you, right?
Oh, pretty much.
I don't think ammonia is great for you either.
Ravi's like, if he goes, how you feeling? I go, I'm a little lightheaded. If I don't make it through this segment, I know what it was. And then this dummy doesn't feel bad for like my family or anybody. He's like, I'm going to blame it on your food storage practices.
Yeah.
Hey, if cleaning solution,
not the fact that I just cleaned my face with restaurant cleaning product.
Right. If it's good enough for a table, it's good enough for your mouth, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
I just couldn't figure out the logic of why you needed a disinfectant to get rid of ink. It's not like there's germs in ink. You just got to wipe it off.
What if ink is poisonous though, AK?
That's a good point.
Cleaning solution
Very good point.
Isn't?
Oh, it's fine.
Don't matter to me.
We'll be exactly Shador. AK.
Boys, what about last night? Hey, I got to tell you, first of all, shout out to Lauren. She made the trip to Ann Arbor.
He's no limit.
She's crazy, by the way. She's nuts.
Listen, you don't probably know much about Master P, but Master P and Lauren Michelson, like No Limit Studios. She is like balls to the wall.
She is unbelievable. So, okay, a little backstory. I took a little time off and got away for the weekend, and I get an email, and I'm on the email. Hey, I don't want to bother Andy, but she put me on the email, which is fine. But I'm checking email, and she's like, "Hey, this is my idea. What do you think?" And I'm like, "I think you're crazy, but okay." I mean, she left yesterday at 4 a.m, and she didn't get done until after midnight last night. That tells you a little something.
Did she tell you about the story she was chasing with the Chiefs and Mahomes? Like,
yeah. And she almost had it. Too.
She was running herself ragged to get that thing.
Uh-huh.
I was like, whose watch is this on? And she goes, it's on my own. I had a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah. She's a bulldog, and honestly, it's. Here's the thing. So we talk amongst media types in the city, and one of the things that made it challenging is that she wasn't allowed to shoot the actual game because Michigan doesn't allow like this. It just seems they're very strange, right? I mean, this is just like we just take it for granted how much media access we get in Nebraska.
Yep.
I mean, not just for men, but for women too. So we're allowed to shoot baseline. We each get spots on the baseline, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Michigan, no. You can't even, not even the locals are allowed to shoot up there.
They gatekeep like no other.
Right. And so that actually is a deterrent for most television stations. Like, well, why are we going to send a person to, go cover the game if you can't shoot the game? Right. And you're most likely, more times than not, going to get some kind of post game, handout post game, as we call it, quote unquote. And Lauren, no. She was like, no, I'm still up for it. I'm still going. I'm like, okay, if you want to do this, this is great. So I thought it was worth it, especially when we saw a little bit of the drama. If you watched the pregame stuff because of the rink mask story, I mean, he was out warming up before the game, and you're like, okay, well, maybe he will play after he showed up on the injury report. So I think that was
out there
beneficial.
Wilted lettuce. I was like, what?
Yeah. yeah, he did. And then of course they misidentified him. How about that? For a top five showdown, and that, I mean, I get it. NBC is stretched, with their, all their production people, but whoo, that was a challenging broadcast. And I am not, believe you me, it is a hard to TV. You guys know producing games.
How about Minnesota? Like you scrambled and had to piece something together last millisecond.
Yep.
It's fair for you to criticize when you have time to actually plan.
Oh, I don't know, man. They had they had a very, very young Michigan guy doing color commentary, right? Who at one point compared Price Sanford to himself. Did you catch that?
Yes.
He reminds me of me, he says. Where if you're just, guy or girl watching the game, people are like, well, who are you? And then, granted, the play-by-play guy had to explain to people who this guy was. And people who follow basketball, of course, know who this guy is. But it's just like, okay.
AK,
I gotta say,
Ravi is an absolute 100% hater. So when you just dropped the Stauskas thing in our basketball group chat,
he was so bad.
He was getting murdered from the jump. So the minute you went in, Ravi's like, "Yep, here I go." Go ahead,
Ravi. It was bad. Ravi, I'm not. It was terrible, wasn't it?
Horrifying. Listen, and I gotta tell you, knowing who Nick Stauskas is didn't make it any better. Didn't help at all. It was one of the worst broadcasts I've heard in some time. And it's not like this snuck up on you. Michigan has been good all year. You knew Nebraska was going to be good, even though you have I don't even mind the Peacock part of it all, because if you've got YouTube TV, they have NBC Sports Network. That's part of your TV package. For a lot of people, you don't even have to go to Peacock. So that part doesn't bother me. I understand what world we live in with streaming. But if you're going to pay for TV rights, pay for announcers that have any idea what they're doing. Because I'm going to be honest with you, and maybe this is just me being a jerk.
This is your fault, Andy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Open the door is ajar.
A couple years ago, John Bishop just pulled me off the street, and I did 2 games for Creighton in the middle of the season. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
If you do this for any sort of living, and maybe the problem is they look around and they're like, well, we have to get a former Big Ten player. It's like, how about you get somebody that's able to talk into a microphone coherently? That's all I'm asking for. I don't think anybody would have been worse off if that game was done by someone who just talks professionally as opposed to a former Big Ten basketball player.
Well, I'm very sensitive. I'm saying, okay, is it because I cover Nebraska that I'm approaching this like this? And then I got a text from a friend of mine who has nothing to do with Nebraska or Michigan, who says, "Oh boy, are you listening to this?" I was like, yeah, of course I am.
My favorite part, Andy. Sorry, not to cut you off.
No, go. It's your stage. Keep going.
Take a second to tell you guys, my lips are kind of burning, and I'm a little lightheaded. I may leave you at any time. Carry on.
I'm stunned. I gotta say, the other part that's frustrating here is they kept referencing one specific game, and it was pretty clear that was the only prep they had done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other part where it's like, listen, even if you don't have a great call, you can do the work ahead of time, right? You can prepare yourself in a way that even if you're not the smoothest on air, or you're like Nick Stauskas and you're new at this, whatever, you can at least be prepared. But when you keep going back to that Minnesota game, and did you see Minnesota? And it's like, yes, did you see anything besides Minnesota? That's my question.
And Nick Stauskas could be a fantastic Emmy Award-winning broadcaster at some point in the future.
Not today.
But it's that is not right now. Okay, and here's the thing. I don't know how many games he's done, but it really didn't seem like he had done a lot of games. Just the stuff just simple stuff, like the guys going to the free throw line late in the game. It's a 2-point game. The guy's going to the line for 2. Michigan's up 2. What's the easiest call in the world? You need 2 to make it a 2-possession game, right?
Yep.
And the play-by-play guy has to step in and say that. Like, come on now. And again, I believe you me, it's easy to throw stones. I don't have the headset on, but I've had the headset on before, and that was just not really it was a disappointing effort because it was such a game of huge magnitude, and then you got a camera crew that's showing Leo Curtis on the sideline and calling him rink masked.
AK.
Come on now.
When we do, and now I get it, Nebraska public media is sensational. And there a lot of pros, but even in the promos, it's when they want to do shots of guys that we're going to do for the open.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing they do on the group text or the talk? It's, hey, just want to clarify number blank, or does this footage look good, or we're gonna shoot this guy before the game, right? Like, that's and I get it. It's the best of the best locally, and we're spoiled. But you would think if you're gonna do pregame, the guys in the truck are gonna be like, hey, we're gonna get footage of such and such. Does this mesh?
Yeah.
Is this the guy?
Is this the human being that we're talking
the
about?
guy that
especially because Rink Mass was out there pregame. He was out there pregame. Get a shot of him pregame. Have the videotape rolling so you can roll back on him pregame. That seems pretty basic.
Said anything? Nobody said, hey, and they didn't just go 0 for 1.
They go 0 for 2, and
they did it twice,
and it was on Leo Curtis for so long.
It
felt like watching
when you lay the graphic.
Oh my god!
Under the wrong guy.
It wasn't like they went to him and they're like wrong guy and clicked out of it. No. They were like, we nailed this.
It's funny because the first time I got the sense that somebody was like, I don't know if that's him, and then they kind of cut away. But the second time with the graphic, they're like, oh yeah, there's my boy Rink, right? He's sick and he's sitting. And if he's sick, what's he doing on the bench, right? You want to get him away from everybody. You got another big game coming up. So yeah, that just didn't make any sense. And for a fan base that already feels pretty disrespected just because the national media taking shots in terms of because I get it. Nebraska's new to this game of being mentioned in the top 10 or 15, top 5 in the country. I understand that. So they're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. But when stuff like this happens, it doesn't help the cause, if you know what I mean, right? Because people are just ticked off about it. And I get it. I understand. Because I was sitting there last night. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on now. Be better than that.
All right. AK.
Yep. All right.
Easy from,
here's what I think part of it is.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Here's what I think part of it is.
Again, this is Andy's fault.
Yeah, my bad.
Here's what I think part of the frustration is. Absolutely, it's part of the national narrative and the feeling of disrespect. But there's a very practical part of this. If you're making me pay more to watch this game other than my already existing TV service, you can't give me that slop, right? Like, it's when they used to have those broadcasts on the exemption tournaments for college basketball on Flow TV, and you're like, what's happening right now? It feels like somebody's filming this with a cell phone in 2011. And if I'm paying,
and you know what? Their visual is sensational.
Way better now. Way better.
100%. The pictures are beautiful.
It used to be very bad. They've gotten way better.
Peacock, it is aesthetically pleasing.
But if I'm paying extra, fine. You have to do better than that. If you're that's part of the understanding of, hey, and I'll pay the subscription.
It's a partnership now.
Yeah, it's I'll pay the subscription fees and all. The Big Ten can't be happy with that. They can't be happy with how that went.
AK, is this the first? And how you know me so well. I hate the straw man or the victimhood or
yeah
they hate Nebraska or
but
they do the schedules but it clearly was about one team being top 5 and the other almost seemingly needing to feel fortunate to be there.
Yes.
And the funny thing about that is, even with the production, because I think hook, line, and sinker, and even I'm guilty of this, so don't let me fool you. buying into the line of the game, the spread.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you think they thought, "Oh, bleep, this is a really good basketball team"?
Right. Probably when Nebraska was up double digits, like, right? And don't you think too?
Through your notes,
yeah. Don't you think too? Here's the thing. I do think the home court played into the play-by-play guy. I'm not bet. He's Paul Burmeister. He's a good, solid.
We've actually done BTN. We've done games before.
He is a solid guy. Former Iowa quarterback. The guy's a pro. But that just I think the fact that the game was at Michigan lended itself to the excitement of the call, because when Michigan started to come back, the crowd got into it. The call got a little more exciting. So you can't help if you are a Nebraska fan going, "Oh my God, these guys are so one-sided." But that's just part of home court and all that thing. The stuff that I have issues with is that everything, that definitely went off the Nebraska hand. That's going to be Michigan ball. And then after further review, the call's been reversed. It's Nebraska ball. Like, come on now.
My favorite is I didn't see the foul.
Yeah. So Mara literally goes Heisman on Kale Jacobson driving to the hoop. And he's like, it's in slow motion. And he goes, I'm going to be honest. I don't see the foul there.
Might be something with the right hand, but no, I don't see the foul. Maybe.
The 7'3" guy going stiff arm on the guard driving to the hoop. Maybe something with the right hand. What are we doing?
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who saw that. But that's fun.
God, man,
it's good.
AK. Next, or no, I'm just gonna call you. But
yeah,
my next favorite thing to talk about that's not officiating is, of course, as you know, schedule talk.
Oh, yeah.
Two things that DB loves:
Mm-hmm.
officiating and schedule talk.
The whole rest of the week, DB. Let's do it.
Can't wait. Bunch of hot takes, AK. Don't you dare miss it.
I won't. I will not.
All right, buddy. Entertaining as always.
All right.
Even when you're not going halvesies on a meal.
Listen, I just hope your lips feel better.
Dude, I'm kind of numb. That's it. Feeling a little clingy product-y right now.
That's Andy KENDEIGH from KETV. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, boys.
Got it.
Mitch Sherman coming next on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just stay present. It's very easy to get caught up in the moment and the drama and the emotions of it all, right? It's easy to get frustrated and annoyed. Who knows what's going on? Was he really hurt? Is his bell rung? Does he want to catch a break? Because I felt him getting tired. But at the end of the day, I just gotta stay locked into the moment. Prepare my body for the next however many minutes the match is going to be. Again, this is, there's a saying that this sport is, 90% physical and the other half of it's mental, right? It takes more than 100%. So I think just, staying mentally focused and locked into those big moments.
Closer. It's closer. I mean, we're not there yet. I thought we had given up 2 offensive rebounds at halftime, and then they came out and got 10 offensive rebounds in the second half. And, part of that is we were changing some things to try to take Barry Wallace away, and now all of a sudden on some switches and things like that, we got a little, guards needing to box out their bigs, and we did not do a good job of that. And so there's plenty of room for growth to continue that. I mean, obviously, we know you can't rebound well for 20 minutes and win very many games in this league, only if you're doing a lot of other things right. But I think that this is a team, Illinois, coming in that was number 1 in the nation in the offense that they produced from the free throw line, and also one of the top teams in the league at taking care of the basketball. And today we forced 17 turnovers, and we also made more free throws than they attempted.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, how we doing this morning?
Doing well. How are you, Ravi and Damon?
I'm doing great. DB's struggling a little bit.
Just 1 second.
He's having a heart. So I'll explain the situation here, Mitch.
Yeah, please do. I'm curious now.
DB was playing with a pen and it broke, and so it got all over his fingers and lips. And so I'm like, hey, bud, you got some stuff, and you should probably clean it off. Trying to be a good friend. I didn't want to be the guy that's like, hey, you got stuff in your teeth. Like, didn't tell me that stuff.
I think that happened to me once when I was in 3rd grade.
And so he was trying to clean it off, and there's cleaning supplies around here because they clean up the restaurant after people leave. And he sees a spray bottle that is unlabeled, by the way. He has no idea what's the spray bottle. And he's like, this will probably work. And goes spritz, spritz, and rubs it on his mouth. And now his lips are burning.
Yeah.
Because,
get some water.
That's what he was doing with he's dunking his lips in water now to try and dilute whatever he put on his mouth. So that's where we're at this morning. I'm doing great. DB is struggling a little bit.
Hi, Mitch. How we doing?
Quite a situation there. I'm doing better than you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just sticking to mainly coffee this morning. I'll maybe get to cleaning supplies later.
Disinfectants.
So here's the deal, Mitch. I'm hyper competitive, so I'm going to tough this thing out. But between you and our listeners, I'm miserable. I thought of you Saturday though at Westside because I'm nestled up there in the corner watching hoops. And I see our mutual buddy, and he came to talk to me. Yeah. The better Damon, came to sit with me, and he is beloved by that hoops team. Like he is absolute gem. He was with Grandpa, so it was cool.
Yeah, he went with me and my son to the Nebraska game, the Nebraska-Washington game on Wednesday, and the boys almost got kicked out of Pinnacle Bank Arena because I had to, not because they did anything wrong. It was just the 3 of us because Damon's dad was out of town. So I took the 2 of them, and I told them on the way in, hey, we might just leave as soon as the game's over if it goes as planned because Nebraska's probably going to win and there's not going to be all that much for me to do. And also CJ Moore is here, my colleague at The Athletic, who just had a story that came out yesterday about Nebraska basketball. So as long as nothing newsy happens, we'll just get out of here as soon as the game's over. And then Braden Frager got hurt, so I had to go to the post-game press conference and get some comments from Hoiberg and work up a little article because Nebraska's a top 10 team. And if you have an injury to a key player, it's news, national news. And they had to hang out while I was doing the post-game media stuff. And it took Washington forever to get into the room. And then Coach Sprinkles came in and that didn't go super fast. Anyway, I was getting texts about how they were being asked to leave, and it was really cold out. So fortunately, the nice event staff at PBA let them hang out by the door while I finished up my work, and then we left. So
on a similar but random note, I'm going to let him critique the recruitment of 2027 Hooper London data, because as you know, Damon is very in tune with high school sports, and so his breakdown of recruiting will be fantastic. He also knows that Dada has back-to-back visits with Creighton and Nebraska. So
of course he does.
Dude,
of course he knows. He knows about Tola Dada, and he probably knows about Tola Dada's dad, and he No, I'm not surprised at all. I didn't know that he was at the West Side game, but
so they're like, I see all the players kind of in between, because the girls played first and then the guys play. So the boys come and they sit in that corner, and I'm up in the very corner, and so they're like waving him over, and I felt it was very encouraging. He came to sit with me, and he's like, so we're talking and we're shooting the breeze, and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go sit with the team now. I may or may not be back." And I was like, D, you go ahead and do your thing.
No doubt. Yeah, we're talking about Damon Dowell, the renowned Gretna East football and basketball team manager. Yes.
Yeah.
Friend of Fred Hoiberg, friend of Matt Rule, friend of Danny Kalin, whoever it is. You know, he's a man of many, many talents. My neighbor.
Right. Go ahead,
Mitch. As you, I don't think we haven't talked to you since the Trae Taylor, Ellis thing, have we?
I don't think so. No.
So
Mitch had some funny.
Back
when my Twitter was working, Mitch, you were extremely.
Now it's working.
Snarky.
Now it's working
about that. No.
Now it's working on his crypto income instead.
Are you talking about the Shayla Rottenberg thing?
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Well, it's snarky. It was just funny.
That was funny. I was amused. Also, unbelievable. Like she's unbelievable. Anyway, whole other thing. Mitch, you're kind of in a really interesting place, because obviously you write for a national outlet, but you're Nebraska based, and you have you care a lot about Nebraska high school sports as well. Like that's sort of a unique overlap, I think, of interests and occupational responsibilities. So I'm curious, when this all started happening and the Trae Taylor thing comes down, and it seemed like maybe there was some momentum towards that. He sort of alluded to it on Twitter a couple times. And then the Trae Ellis thing seemed to come a little bit more out of nowhere. Like, how do you process that for Nebraska football? And then how do you process that for the state of high school football in Nebraska?
Okay.
Hey, the heck with Nebraska, Michigan basketball. Let's get to the hot takes.
Yeah, it's fine. You guys are talking about that the rest of the show. For Nebraska football, there's no downside. There's no negative. You're going to have him closer to the program. You're going to start to get him involved ahead of the 2027 calendar year, when he's going to be a very important person to the program. You don't know right now what the quarterback picture is going to look like that year, but I do think that Trae Taylor, as a true freshman, will be involved in the fact that he's going to have a lot more time to be able to spend near the Nebraska program in the non-dead periods that he's in Lincoln. So people have to understand, like, he's not going to be able to be around the Huskers for most of July, all of July and August, because those are dead periods. So he can be around in June, and then during the season, and when the season starts on September 5th. And that's I think he is going to spend a lot of time there. It's great. It's great for Nebraska football. It's great for him. It just gives him a jump start without his eligibility clock beginning. So that's pretty cut and dry. With the high school scene, it just depends on how Trae handles everything. And I think he's going to do fine. I talked to him on Saturday, and it's funny you bring that up, Ravi, about me being in a weird position, because I was going to write something about it. And, really the only thing that was ultra compelling to me was the hyper local Nebraska high school angle. And, that's not necessarily playing to our audience at The Athletic. I do think there's some people who care about it, who read my stuff, and I'm happy to talk about it here or on my podcast. But yeah, it puts him in a weird position for sure, because he's like the poster boy now for what a lot of people see as something that's just not quite right about high school sports and Nebraska high school sports in particular, where you just have the amount of mobility that exists among players, and it's allowed, and you can argue whether it should be or shouldn't be, and that's a different discussion. I think the thing for Trae is he's not really going to embrace that. He's just going to do what he's going to do and be a quarterback there and be a team player for a few months from July through sometime in November, and that's basically it. So, I don't think he's going to. People are going to say what they're going to say when they go to watch Millard South, and it's going to be a different experience for him because as a Nebraska recruit, you're generally beloved around the state, and as a Millard South quarterback who moved from Chicago, that's not really going to be the case for him in some venues that he goes to. So, but I think he'll handle it well. I mean, it's important to remember that he's 17 and he's just playing within the system. He's a product of the system that exists at high school and college sports right now. And in a lot of ways, it's a messed up system. So I think people should keep that in mind when they watch him. And he'll I'm interested to see the schedules, and I know those are coming out fairly soon. And
first week
I think it's going to be better than last year. What was that, Damon, about the schedules?
First week in February.
First, right? Yeah. So right. So next week. All right, great. I hope that it looks different than what we've seen in recent years.
All right. So Mitch, how about this? If there's some advantages potentially, do you think, in terms of, how Coach Rule always talks about this certain degree of pressure that comes with in-state recruits where they're constantly critiqued before they get to campus, the questions once you're on campus, right? Most recently, I think Carter Nelson is really trying to balance that. You think Trae and Tay get some practice in terms of dealing with how they will be critiqued every week, right? Because if it doesn't look a certain way, or if it does look a certain way, there'll be like these opinions. Any advantage, do you think, to the good in terms of being able to bank that and deal with the critiquing that goes along the way?
Yes, I think that'll be an advantage, but I don't think the critiquing is going to quite be what it would be if they were doing the same thing.
It's Saturday against North Dakota.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being around it and even if they give people no reason to criticize them through their play, they're going to be inside the bubble, and I think have a front row seat of what it's like to be a Nebraska player or a Nebraska recruit. It might be another Nebraska recruit in this class who is under the microscope, or it could be them. And yeah, that'll be beneficial for sure. It's tough. It can be tough for Nebraska recruits, and it's been an interesting kind of evolution to watch and it's still, I think it's still changing in the time that it's been interesting to watch in the time that Matt Rule's been the coach, and the way that he and his staff have approached players in the state of Nebraska, high school players in the state of Nebraska, and recruiting them and then coaching them when they get to Lincoln. And so, yeah, it's I don't think they've found like the quite the right place yet, the right balance yet. And maybe this will help.
You know what I bet he'd tell you? You should ask him, Mitch, because you're in a not safer, but it's more your job than it would be mine to ask him, is how much of how he looks at, or they look at, recruiting in-state guys is independent or dependent on how much he thinks the family can deal with the scrutiny, even greater than the individual player's ability. Because
yeah, that could be a conflict of interest for you to ask.
And people wonder why we get along.
Fair point.
Yes, that's a fair point, right? Like, because I think you have to be built a certain way from a family structure.
I mean, because we saw it with like Thomas Fidoni's family was kind of active on the internet,
or
to
the opposite, a guy like Chase Lofton, who's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I want to go someplace else, right? Like you heard Banderas legendarily talk about growing up in Lincoln, then playing. Like it's
just a different beast.
Ask Malachi Coleman's parents how they would. It's different for everybody. I wonder how that factors into how
who they decide to go after.
Yeah, I haven't given that a ton of thought. It would be a good question for him. My thought is it probably doesn't factor a whole lot. I think if they find a player that they think fits them and they have a need at that position, and some positions are evaluated differently, the quarterback position in particular, but everywhere else on the field, if it's a player that they feel like fits them, I think they're gonna recruit that player. Now, if there's some extenuating circumstance where, that guy or his family are just not going to react well to being looked at closely, then it could impact their. I don't think I've seen a situation where Nebraska's like chosen not to recruit somebody because they're worried about how that player or his family might react. But I think it goes into the way that they coach them and like the conversations that they have. Absolutely. When they're being recruited, and then if they choose to come to Nebraska, like preparing them for the expectations and just having if you're as you know, if you're a former Nebraska high school player who is in that locker room, there are going to be more people in your ear, more eyes on you, more conversations about you, more scrutiny than, somebody from Texas or Illinois. So that's just the way it is. And I think as long as the athletes can understand that when they get started, they're going to be in a better position to handle it.
All right. Since you brought up Illinois, that's a relatively rough, smooth transition. I hate schedule talk, but you're pretty balanced, so you're not going to probably get under my skin talking about it. But we knew it was going to be a tough schedule based on the teams that they had to play. When you look at the breakdown as it was leaked and then released yesterday, which, by the way, did you see the little hidden gem in your press release that we're going back to the Hilton next year for Big Ten? Was that not pretty cool? No, maybe you don't like that. Do you like
I do. I love that Media Days is going to be in Chicago.
Me too.
I already knew that it was going to be in Chicago, but I'm glad that it's at the Hilton and not at McCormick Place.
McCormick Place. I was going to say the
get us right there across from the park on Michigan Avenue. That's fun.
All right. So, we're did you thank them for sending the schedule link in addition to the email? Because
I did not thank them. No.
Why would that have been so hard? Just link the goddamn schedule. But anyway, as you're looking at it, what did you think that, like, how'd you look at it based on what it could have been?
There was no way to set it up where it was going to be easy. What you're looking for is manageable, and I guess that's what they got. I mean, there's an opportunity for Nebraska to start well in 2026, and I think that's a big thing when you have a new quarterback, when you have a new defensive coordinator, when you have a big change on who's running the special teams, and just as much change overall, like a rebuilt offensive line, big time renovation that you're trying to do with the defensive line. These are all, like, if you're going to list like the most important positions on the staff and on the team in any year, those are all going to rank right around the top. So the fact that Nebraska has big change at all of those spots, or just about all of those spots, I think what you would want to see is an option, an opportunity to like ease into things in the season a bit. And yeah, they definitely have that with the 3 non-conference home games. And, not just like a beast of a game out there in September. And then it starts coming at you in October. At some point, that's going to happen. And, at some point, you can't all be in November, and you wouldn't want it to all be in November. November's tough enough as it is without having an Indiana or an Oregon lined up there. So you get into it on October 10th, maybe sooner. I don't know what Michigan State's going to look like in year one with Pat Fitzgerald. Now it's different now than it was when he coached at Northwestern. It's different, the task to rebuild a roster, and you can do things in year one that just were not available in previous eras of this sport. So I would expect that that's going to be a good time to go there to East Lansing and open conference play. And Nebraska will have an opportunity to be 4-0 after that game, and an opportunity to be 5-0 after Maryland comes to Lincoln.
Oh, you're going there. You got a little hoop basketball freedom of.
Why not?
To dream.
Why not? I mean, you can dream. You can look at it and if Ohio State was.
We're so traumatized with football fans.
Well, you better win week one. If you don't win week one, the whole rest of the season is.
Well, so my thought on that is I don't need to be worried about it. I don't think that that Dana Holgerson or Luke Lindenmeyer should be coming on your show and saying we got an opportunity to be 5-0. I don't think that's probably the right message to get from somebody inside the program, but I don't have an impact on the game. So yeah, I can definitely look at it and say it's favorable. Do I think they're going to be 5-0? I don't know. Ask me again in July or August. I'll know more about the team at that point, but they definitely have an opportunity. I would think right now they would be favored.
Be careful though, because if they don't, then it is your fault for setting unreal expectations.
I'll take that.
For promoting free thinking.
I mean, hey, Ohio was in a bowl game last year and beat UNLV, so it's not a walkover by any stretch in week one. But it's Ohio. It's a Group of 5 team. It's a MAC team. You have them at home. I mean, you're Nebraska. You should win that game. So I like the way it starts. It gets really tough, obviously, for a period of time. You go into the thick of it in October. Indiana and Oregon in back-to-back weeks is a challenge. And then the whole month of November is really, really tough. So Nebraska in year 4 under Matt Rule has it lined up to be able to slay some demons. He's 2-10 in the month of November, hasn't beaten Iowa. We know the challenge that Ohio State brings. You have a chance to flip some scripts. And
how about Senior Day with your right now,
Ohio State
18 seniors being Ohio State at home? That's going to bring some juice.
Yeah. Hey, the last time Nebraska played Ohio State, the game went down to the last couple of minutes. Like, this one's at home. Last time Nebraska played Ohio State at home, if I'm not mistaken, it was a competitive game. Am I forgetting a game? Was it? I'm trying to remember the order of Nebraska Ohio State games. There have been a lot of competitive ones. There have been a couple blowouts.
Well, remember, 2 in a row in Lincoln, Ohio State did not punt. So we have that going for us as well.
What's the most recent Nebraska Ohio State game in Lincoln? What year?
I think that was JT Barrett's last year, or no, it was Ryan Day's first year, because I did the post-game talk with him, and he was talking about how one of the things that he appreciated about this team was, as skilled as they were, Mitch, I'll never forget this post-game for BTN. He said, I love our competitive, our physicality. Baptiste was a freshman. Nebraska wanted him. They didn't get him. He ended up going to Ohio State. He wore number 8, I think, for Ohio State. It was a night game. I can't remember the exact year, but I think that was it.
2021, the last Nebraska-Ohio State game in Lincoln, and the Buckeyes won 26-17. That was the year that Nebraska was 3-9 and lost. That was not a one-score game, but every other loss was a one-score game, I believe, in that year.
There we go.
Mitch, as you look at this schedule, and I don't know, I'm kind of in the place where, with what the Big Ten has turned into, you're probably going to have 3 games you look at as pretty difficult basically every year moving forward. You're going to get a couple years where you luck out and have a favorable schedule, but more often than not, I feel like these are the types of schedules you're going to get. So I start to look at things like, well, okay, what's the travel look like? And I mean, if you're Nebraska this year, you have to be pretty excited. At least at this point, you only have one short week, and that's the Friday Iowa game, as opposed to last year, so where you had a lot of weird stuff with your schedule. And you go, okay, you go to the West Coast once for Oregon, and then you come home. You're home before that, and then you go to the East Coast once with Rutgers. When I look at sort of the logistics of the schedule, I actually don't think this is bad for Nebraska.
No, logistic wise, I think it's about as balanced as you can get. There's not, last year Nebraska had the back-to-back road to the Maryland and then Minnesota on a Friday. There's one back-to-back situation of road games, and it's
Illinois Rutgers.
Is it Illinois Rutgers? Yeah, yep. and one of those could be the Friday. I think there's going to be a Friday night game on the schedule.
I'm hoping
it could be any of the road games.
We only have to get one more in before 2028, right? Contractually, or does it have to be? You're way better at that than I am.
I don't know. I don't know the where they're at on the quotas and things like that. I just know that they're very unlikely to have one at home, and I don't think there's any extenuating circumstance for any of the 4 road games. And I could be wrong. Like one of these could end up being some team's homecoming, and that ends up being exempt from a Friday night. But any of the 4, I don't know. Like I've gone back and forth in my mind. Like, would they do that with the Oregon game? Because that would be tough for Nebraska to be coming off of Indiana at home and then have a short week and have to play Oregon. I mean, Fox doesn't get the opportunity to have Oregon on Big Noon because it would be 9 a.m. out there. So would Fox maybe want to look for a Friday night in Eugene? And what's the best case scenario for that? It could be totally off the board and not something at all that they look at. I think the September 25th Friday night at Michigan State. I mean, right now it's the 26th, but that one it looks interesting to me because you can build it around Fitzgerald and his return to Big Ten play. The Spartans do have Notre Dame on the road the week before that, so they might not be too thrilled about that game. So it's going to be one of them, and that could mess up, what we're talking about here with logistics looking good right now. But they do, yeah. There's not a big old mess out there anywhere with travel and such, and I think that stuff's overblown. I just do because of how they travel and it's not like me, hopping 2 planes and having layovers and delays and stuff like that. Like they do fine.
Yeah, I heard a lot of crying and hand wringing about the November schedule, and you just referenced Rules record in November. I was trying to convince BC because unfortunately, I think for fans, coaches have to be optimistic and actually try to coach, as do players, right? They're not gonna resign themselves to, oh shoot, we're not good in November.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna play a certain way, and I want to be physical, and I'm trying to build up front, like you don't mind Illinois, Rutgers, Ohio State at home, Iowa, right? Iowa's going to be Iowa regardless. Doesn't matter where you play. It's going to be played a certain way.
And you knew that game.
Right?
Was there.
You get Ohio State at home. Okay, I've got to go on the road. Are Champaign and are those terrible places to go if I want to do something stylistically? I don't think so.
No, and Nebraska's had it the other way around in the last couple of years, going to USC and UCLA in November, and that's kind of nice because it gets you out of the gray, cold kind of football for the entire month. So you're probably going to have that now going to Illinois and Rutgers. I mean, who knows? It could be 65 degrees on November 7th.
I don't even know who's taking snaps for Rutgers for me to get my undies in a bunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Illinois is replacing their whole football team. I don't know.
Yeah, right. It's if you're going to play road games and you're going to in the month of November, those 2, not counting Iowa because like we said, we knew that was there. Those 2 at the start of the month, it's fine. Like I don't think there's a lot to complain about.
All right, let me get you out of here on this. At least for me, I don't want to speak for my ding dong partner here. How important is it, or how much attention were you paying to what happened with Mensa? They apparently have come to an agreement. The Damon Williams deal. I've got both eyes on what happens with Chase Mason at SDSU. We saw what happened with Chambliss. for what you really do with the Athletic, with the tough, hard hitting kind of nitty gritty stuff, which you're not afraid to delve into. How close are you looking at what's happening with these quarterbacks and the eligibility situation for the grand scheme of things of football?
I mean, I pay attention to it from a point of being interested and wanting and needing to have an understanding of what's happening in the sport and what's going on with various contract situations. I mean, they're all a little bit different. Chambliss's is a waiver and a 6th year of eligibility, and Mensa is a contract situation with Duke, and Damon Williams was different
Similar
as well. Yeah, I mean, similar to Mensa for sure.
The Chase Mason Chambliss thing, because I quietly, like, Mason's an NFL quarterback, draftable at SDSU. So, like, I'm very curious to see how the governing body looks at, were you denied 2 years? Was it an like, the verbiage is fascinating to me, with what kind of cases people will want to make about whether they were denied the opportunity, especially as I look at college basketball with this.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how long-term the NCAA is going to keep players from staying in school as long as they want, it's going to have to come.
That's why Pavia scared me. The injunction.
Yeah. It's going to have to come from somewhere else. And there's not a correct way to say. There's no way to say, well, this is the answer, and they should look to Congress, or they should look to an independent governing body, or they should look to the individual conferences to legislate. Like, none of those options are without serious potential flaws. So, but I also don't think that giving all of the power to the NCAA and letting them decide seemingly arbitrarily, especially when you start to compare it between sports. I mean, we're not even talking about. There's so many things we're not talking about in this conversation where they treat sports differently, like football gets treated differently than basketball or volleyball.
Yeah, can you imagine a guy going undrafted in football or playing in
USFL or something,
and then coming back to college?
And yeah, I mean, can you imagine a football
NIL opportunity?
Yeah, right. Can you imagine a football player playing one snap in a game and losing that year of eligibility? I mean, every other sport, that's the way it is. But it's not in football. And now they want to have up to 9 games you can play in and still retain your season. It's everything. There just isn't an even playing field for really anything, and that applies also to these different situations with the quarterbacks that we're talking about here. So I just try to keep an eye on them, and you can try to compare and contrast, but I don't think that gets you anywhere, because you can't look at Damon Williams' situation or Trinidad Chambliss' situation and say, okay, this is how they ruled on that, and this is what's going on with that guy, so I'm going to try to apply it to this other situation. Like if a situation were to come up at Nebraska here a year from now, I'm not pointing. You don't know.
You don't think? You don't foresee precedent being a thing?
It hasn't been yet. They're all ruled on differently. They all seem to be independent of each other,
which is part of the frustration, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Like wrong. At least give us some uniformity in football, and then try to give some uniformity between sports. But they're so far from that yeah, I don't try to draw any big conclusions. It's just all of them. I mean, the Ole Miss Clemson case to me has been one of the most intriguing.
Is so fascinating, because Sweeney, Mitch, is not going to go away.
Yeah, and he's just an example of a coach he took it into his own hands. He took the situation into his own hands. He's like, nobody else can make a difference here. Like the governing body is not making a difference with threats of so he's like, I'm just going to take measures into my own hands. And I don't even necessarily think that he expects they may try to make an example out of Ole Miss, and that's secondary, I think, in Sweeney's mind. I think his thought here is I have to defend myself and defend my program. And the best way that I can do that is to try to embarrass somebody else. Because if Clemson gets back in that situation where a player transfers in, or there's a player on their roster and they're signed and they're in school and they start getting hounded by another program, at least the other program is going to think twice about how far it goes, because it can see what Dabo did here in calling them out, and they maybe don't even want to be a part of that, whether they're likely to get punished or not. And I think that's as good of an answer as anything else. Like, other coaches can follow his lead and just say, okay, well, if we're going to start naming names, let's just do it that way, and we'll put out a list. We'll have a press conference. Could you imagine Matt Rule having a press conference and like naming all of the schools and all the coaches that tampered with his players? Like, I mean, maybe that's where we'll be.
They run
in a
in
year or
hell.
so.
I mean,
like they literally run in hell, Mitch. It's like, hey, look, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like they don't have evidence.
Well, and sometimes other coaches come to you and tell you when your players are shopping their own services. So that's fun too.
Or you get calls from coaches from other schools after the bowl game based on how it looks. Like, it is fascinating, Mitch.
It's a free for all.
The last one, promise. Thanks for your time, Mitch.
Fine.
Do you want to fix it, or are you just gonna roll with it?
I want to fix it. I want to have some kind of rules. Yeah, I want to have some kind of a system that everybody has to work within.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as, because I hope we don't just concede, right? We need good guys. Like, we need guys that'll ask questions and talk about it and come out with stuff to read that's provokes thought. Because I just don't want people. What I'm afraid of is people will throw their hands up, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think we're that far from that. I think there's a lot of that already goes on. There's a lot of it where it's very tempting.
Then I'm cheering for Dabo.
It's right. It's very tempting to just say, what's the point? What's the point in even complaining? Like, teams are going to do what they're going to do anyway. And
you got Mitch Sherman, Mike Gundy in you. Those were his infamous last.
Yeah, right. Before the Oregon game.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I'm not in charge of a Power 4 program.
Mitch, appreciate.
I'll still put up the good fight and try to point out the inadequacies and hypocrisies, but I don't know. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody somewhere in leadership positions at the conferences or somewhere has to step up and get people on board. And it's hard to see the path to that at this moment.
That's Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Appreciate the time as always, Mitch. Good stuff.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Mitch, remember, Gundy started with in the offseason, what are you going to do? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly threw the towel in a while ago.
He had started this deal.
Like, which is kind of funny because
he's like, it's a joke.
If the big money people at Oklahoma State had continued to have his back, I bet he'd feel a lot differently about the state of college football.
Yeah. And I don't think Clemson, we joke about them quietly shopping Sweeney. At least I did.
I mean, I think he was shopping himself, but
I think they ought to ride with him here.
So,
because he's the best advocate, because he clearly, he loves he clearly ain't going anywhere.
Sneakily, one of the best things that happened. Sneakily is one of the best things that happened is the Darian Mensah situation.
Them coming to an agreement?
Yes, because that actually provides, I tweeted this, that actually sort of provides the beginnings of a structure that can work.
In terms of how they do contracts or how you let people out of contracts?
Both, because the important part is about the contract is both either you stick to it under these terms or these are the terms in which you can get out of it. That's the important part of a contract. And we think of contractors like, well, you have to keep people here. And it's like, well, you can't force somebody to play football someplace they don't want to.
You want me to tell you something?
What's that?
I think is pretty interesting.
What's that?
God. With regards to contracts and situations for players, Would you appreciate a school more if, to alleviate the headache, they ate the money to get out of a contract?
I think some schools do that. I mean, so it depends on who wants to do the leaving, right? If you want to do the leaving and you're the university, then you are also obligated to fulfill parts of that contract, right? So you say, hey, here's the rest of the money. Good luck. Goodbye. Right? Or if you're the player like Darian Mensah and you're like, hey, I signed this contract, but I want to get out of it. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, player contracts are going to start to look a lot more like coaches' contracts. Mm-hmm. Kurt Cignetti, you have to pay Indiana $15 million if you hire him away. That's the buyout. That's the buyout if they don't fire him. That's the buyout if he decides to leave, right? So you're going to see, I think, starting to be written into player contracts, this is the cost if someone wants you, or if you want to leave here to go play football somewhere else before your contract is up. And we already have this. We have a system for this already. It exists.
In soccer?
And in Japanese baseball. That's what a posting fee is.
Or transfer fees.
Yeah, transfer fees in soccer and posting fees in Japanese baseball. They have a system where it says, hey, once this point happens, Major League Baseball has to pay us X amount of money. And it's a bidding system, so it's a little different. But it's, hey, you have to pay us this amount of money in order to get this guy away from our team because you have to make us whole financially. Yeah. It's the same thing. This already exists, and it works, by the way. Transfer fees work. Posting fees work. So because and the eligibility is a different thing. But here's the dirty little secret about the NCAA. Every rule they've made about players for the past 100 years is illegal. All of them.
Well, it's primarily because it's reactionary.
Well,
so
like limiting eligibility is, now that there's money involved, is illegal. You can't limit someone's potential to earn. It's illegal. So unless you get unionized and collectively bargained and you get an antitrust exemption from the government, it's illegal. So you have to do it contractually where the player bargains for themselves and agrees to the terms. So if you can do that on an individual basis, then you can avoid having to go through government channels to get your exemptions and all those things.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah. But the eligibility part's still a problem, but go ahead.
With the turnover of the every 3 to 4 to 1 to 2 years.
To 7 for some people, but yeah.
Who collectively bargains for the greater good of the future in college athletics?
So you would have to put together,
like, what I trust.
Yeah.
Let's say Will Shields collectively bargaining for me a couple of years ahead of time. That's the analogy.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you trust him. That's the only option you have.
You understand the degree of difficulty with the CBA.
I 100% do.
Okay.
That's why we see lockouts and strikes. And even when there's so much money on the table, that's why we still see that in professional sports when they've got most of the structure in place already.
Shane, I know this is going to stretch you, but we had a run of like super hard-hitting guests. It started with Harvey Perlman.
Like Stretch Armstrong?
Yes. Numbnuts. Remember we had old HP in studio in our former life. And
Yep.
then we talked.
He was good. He was good.
We talked antitrust laws with experts at the university and what CBA actually looks like. Do you roughly remember how many years ago that was? It was before the Shield House.
It was probably like 2017.
It's 8 years ago.
Okay.
Roughly.
Am I correct on that?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Wasn't She House? It was Kane Coulter?
Coulter. I said Shield. I get my light skin quarterbacks confused.
It's all right. Big Ten, Illinois.
Severe,
State of
Shield
Illinois.
House, Coulter.
Yeah. You're in the neighborhood.
Well, I mean, whatever.
You know Kane Coulter is Kenny Bell's boy. They grew up together.
I believe it. A couple of higher level
thinkers.
Light skinned brothers. That's what I was going to say.
No, I think there is, you're right.
By the way, Kane Coulter did KB and them.
Oh, yeah, he knows. You're right. The complexity of this at this level, because there are way more entities and You're talking about 4.
It's just so fluid.
Yeah, well, you're talking about 4 to 5.
Like, why would I trust
but think about
Corey Barney to represent Micah?
Think about this for a second, though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. But think about the average lifespan of an NFL player. It's actually not that different in terms of the turnover.
But the thing about it is they have precedent. So they have guidelines in which they probably want to operate. Now, unless you're somebody bad like DeMaurice Smith or some of these guys that have been president of player unions, then sure, you know what not to do.
For sure.
But
no, that's part of the challenge is you're starting from scratch, right? And you're starting from scratch with an entity that's literally been doing everything illegally for its entire existence.
Yeah, I'm not going to operate on that premise because we're not afforded the luxury to go backwards, right? So when they're doing it, we're not as smart as we are in 2026. Now that we're in 2026 and you get the vantage point of looking in the rear view, you could say, oh, that was never legal. But real time, I mean, at one point, we used to drink from separate water fountains, and that was cool, too. Now we look at it X amount of years later, I'm like, oh,
at the time it was legal, and now it's not.
So I don't love the line of demarcation, but I get it.
Well, so here's the reason I bring it up, right? Is because you can't take anything. The reason I bring it up is because you can't
I'm surprised I can still function at a high level. I think my brain is rotting.
I think the reason I keep bringing it up is you can't take anything that is currently existing within their structure and assume it's okay moving forward. That's why I bring up the legality of their previous rules, because you have to start from scratch is the point.
Yeah, big jelly roll guy.
And so starting from scratch makes it
It is not okay.
Makes it way more complicated
Barely getting by.
than, as you mentioned, with existing leagues where you have a framework in which you're making tweaks, but you don't have to build the frame of the house.
I'm with you.
And so, like, that to me, and the eligibility thing is the scariest part here.
That's the
part that's scary.
And you've heard me, and some have, and we've gotten into this a little, and a lot of it is off air.
Mm-hmm.
I was not cheering for Pavia. I was not cheering for Chambliss. I want a statute of limitations.
100%.
I do.
Yes, I agree.
So
I want a statute of limitations.
I want it over.
I want people.
I don't want to watch a guy play at 27 years of age
and
or 26 against a 19-year-old because
I don't want to watch
he or she can make $3 million and it's better than if they go out into the free market and they're not going to command that because they're not pros anyway.
That's what I'm like. So
I don't want that.
And I don't want to see the Bediakos of the world coming back after failed G League careers, or I don't want to see guys that, were trying to make it in the NFL and couldn't hack it. And, maybe they played 4 preseason games and they're like, this ain't for me. I got to go back.
You guys thought I was being petty the other night when I was
No, I didn't think you were being petty at all.
Tennessee. I don't want
Bediako
playing in college basketball. I want them to lose.
And listen, if that means –
and I hate Tennessee.
If that means I lose the Fedor Zugiches of the world because of that, I'm okay.
I didn't – but I said this – I'm not even going to hold you on it. But I told you to be careful with the Zugic thing.
I understand that. I wanted Zugic because I like Zugic, not just because he's a crazy. I like his game.
That's the problem. It's situational likes as opposed to like global thinking.
Two things can be true at once. I can like Zugic and be glad he's playing for Creighton and still understand that the ruling is bad for college basketball.
Yeah, same as I can want that to be a catch or an interception in Buffalo versus Denver or Jesse James in Pittsburgh, but I want precedent set so going forward I know what the frick we're dealing with.
Absolutely. If they had come and said Fedor Zugic is not eligible and never will be eligible, I would have understood it, and that's better for college basketball. I get that, right? And I'm okay sacrificing those things in order to say, hey, I don't want to operate this way anymore.
I want to tell him so bad to keep that door open. That breeze cools my lips. It allows me to think freely. My brain is being rotted by chemicals.
What's wrong with you?
I inhaled chemicals.
The ammonia.
It didn't taste like ammonia.
What do you know what ammonia tastes like?
Because I've been woken up with smelling salts.
You know what it tastes like. You know what it smells like. It's different.
Oh, they're the olfactory nerves. They're kind of connected.
You ever do
you know what bacon would taste like because you've smelled it?
I know what it smells like because I've smelled it.
Punch you. Right
You ever do the was like an ammonia a big thing when you guys were like lifting in college?
No, but
I know you did the smelling salts, but Because that
it's just to wake me up that day.
That became a big thing in powerlifting. They do the ammonia, and you get the like adrenaline.
Yeah, we had a really good lifter 2 years ago. He played center for us, and he had super bad knees, and his calf was very connected, but he was super strong.
Yeah.
And he would put like 85 old rags around his knees, like he was that dude.
Yeah.
And you'd like snap these things off in the weight room, and I'm like, hey, bro, you're gonna have to stop doing that in public. Our other players think that's cool. You're crazy, so you do it, but we're not getting down like that.
Not about that life.
No.
Not trying to do that.
No. What did my man Suave say?
He says when the smelling salts wake up, hits your tongue as well. So he feels you on that one.
Thank you. Air high five for
Look at
Suave.
that. He's being nice to you today.
Oh, we're kindred spirits with kids.
Why is that?
I don't know, both light skin. Although my barber would have a fit.
Why?
Oh God, we got into an argument last week about skin tone.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How'd that go?
This is the dumbest thing ever. But he and I, we've had some. It's just interesting, you know, where he calls like mocha and caramel and light brown, like light skin. He's very particular. So everybody's different. So anyway.
So he's not racist. He's tonist. He's shadist.
You've been in there. Didn't you take Micah?
Yeah, I took Micah.
Yeah, holler at him. See what he says. That dude is so bougie. He drove out there on a Sunday morning because he's living the bachelor life. He's got a sweet condo downtown or whatever. My man went out to like Salted Edge for brunch. Do you know how far that is from 19th and Harney?
Yeah, that's a trip. That's about like 45 minutes at least.
What is shaded, by the way?
Shaded?
Yeah, is that what you said?
Shadeist.
Oh.
Shadeist.
Shane, I got a question. This is very important.
Like, why has your mic been on for the last like 10 minutes?
I'm talking about auditory and olfactory nerves being connected.
I've got stuff to say. I've been wanting to say.
Sometimes I think you can't hear, which is why you mispronounce words. When I say picture and pitcher, do you hear two different things?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, how come you can't say it?
I could probably sing it. Look at this photograph. Picture this.
When I say hamburger and hamburger, do you hear
He was being 7 when he said that.
Do you hear the same thing or different thing?
I hear the same thing.
Are you?
No, I hear different things. Yeah.
Again, he has Les Vogler in his ear.
He's got a pen.
So what else you got? What else
Wait,
you got?
so when you say pin and you say pen, do you think I'm saying the same thing?
I had pen ink.
You did have pen ink. Pen.
Is there a difference?
I hate you. Well, yes, there is. If I had a pen, I'd have probably poked myself. But I had a pen, which
you said that was the same.
No, it's not the same thing.
You just said the same.
Say Pam or Pan?
We're saying Pam or Pan here.
We're not going to do this at the end of every show where we have meltdowns and just roast each other.
Okay.
Because
I'll turn my mic off.
I talked to him yesterday. He is hilarious. I'm a huge KC guy.
I do think Shane had his mic on for like 10 minutes there. It's like I just heard the buzz in the background.
We should talk to Kyle. Kyle is a big talk radio guy.
Let's talk to Kyle.
KC could listen to talk radio all day, every day.
Does he listen to us?
Yes.
Good. Thanks, Kyle.
Well, he's smart.
I don't know. Maybe he's not up in the morning. I don't know what time. I don't know what his schedule's like.
He's a pro. He's so pragmatic. It's refreshing.
How so?
Because I need that. It's the perfect yin and yang. He's very.
Give me like an example.
Very if then.
If this, then that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I got you.
And for a guy that's relatively creative.
Yeah, that's not a super common combination.
No, but he's the reason. Like he can call a meeting next week at 3:15 to go through procedure and protocol, and I know it will end.
Yeah.
You let me run that meeting?
It's just gonna keep going.
No, I'll get bored and leave, or we'll just create scenarios in which we think. So we need that. So I need to hear other perspectives. Like
he strikes me as, and I don't want to get out of pocket here, but he strikes me as like being the first to the office guy.
KC?
Yeah.
Kind
of like Rule.
For sure, Rule. I don't know if KC will be the first to the office. But he's gonna if he's going. So I'll do you one better.
Okay.
I don't know if he's gonna be first to the office, but if he's going to the office, it ain't to waste time.
Okay, there you go.
Right, like he ain't going just to say I went to the office. If he can't be productive, he ain't going.
We've had several people in the chat request that Kyle be our announcer for the draft.
Oh, okay.
To announce the draft picks.
Oh, that'd be funny.
With the first pick in the second round, Team DB selects Asian Wyatt.
Now, he's not controversial. So if you bring him into the muck, he is going to refrain. Kyle is what I would call standard.
Okay.
He's vanilla bean, he's chocolate, he's chicken and rice. He's gonna clean his plate.
You just call him basic?
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just you want ad lib, that ain't your guy. You want rule follower, do the right thing, that's your guy.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna I don't know if he would even say Asian Wyatt. I can't see him saying that. Like if he wouldn't I don't know. I don't know if Kyle would say like Black Rob.
What do you say, Dank Coyote?
No.
Dixie.
He definitely wouldn't finish it.
Yeah, he's not saying Barry's name. He's not saying
Stank Nooner.
You know what he would say? I guarantee he would be like, DB, what are we even doing? That's what he would say.
Be like, we're doing a talk show here, Casey.
Yeah, first to the office, I don't know. Maybe.
Wyatt says, can Jessica do the film breakdown after we get picked?
Oh, she's so mean-spirited. Like
she would enjoy it. She would enjoy it.
I'm just telling you, you guys love her. You better be careful.
It's oh no, her and I have beef over Shane because she thinks I'm too mean to him.
You guys better be careful. Like
I think I'm the appropriate amount of mean to Shane.
She can fend for herself just fine. So don't let the. Did you see how she did KC?
Oh yeah.
Do I still have that? Shane. You guys, you Jessica lovers.
That's just Shane. That's just Shane.
I sent it to you. Did I send it to the group text?
I'm not sure if you. It was the chat with you, me, and Matt and Jacob. That was that group text.
Okay, find that
because
send it to
Shane.
Send it to Shane. I'm gonna give you.
God, we text too much.
Oh yeah, it's
good Lord. It was like 2 days ago. It's like 400 texts back.
Dude, it's incredible. Like, I want you guys to see, and she's probably gonna be mad. No, she's not gonna be mad. I mean, it's kind of just who she is. But
you mad?
I'll give you both their personalities in like a 25-second. How is it that far back?
Because we text.
Is she making fun of me
so much?
I know.
Oh, I think I found it.
That's the day she called. That's the day she called me a pissy baby.
Is this the one? Is this? Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah, send it to Shane. Just play it in its entirety.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scene set this for you guys. So this is Friday night. This is a duel. It's wrestling.
Where am I looking for this at? DM?
Where's the best place to send it?
DM's fine.
Okay.
So KC is in studio. Super chill. He's got his glasses on. He's freshly shaven. He's at the network. We got this fantastic studio. Jess is live at wrestling. She's grabbing she's grabbing Sparks, and it's star-studded. She is in the arena. Now, keep in mind, this is impromptu. We all get along, allegedly. We all work together.
Yeah.
But what we're about to hear is this is how kind and nice and good.
She's so nice.
You want she just as soon slit your throat. Like,
why did this not save?
I don't know, but you're being real special. Just send it.
Teams, do teams then.
I don't know if that's gonna help, but we'll give it a go.
And this is like Kyle. Like,
which part? Oh, her talking to Kyle?
He doesn't bother anybody.
It was cold-blooded. It was a cold shot, man. And there was, for no reason, just absolutely no reason.
Yeah. So when I just an equal opportunity. If I have to watch you
I got you.
finger hunt and peck, it
Would
was
you-
the funniest thing. Did you hit send?
Yeah, it's going to Shane right now.
It was the funniest.
It's on team, Shane.
Non-funny thing that I had heard in quite some time. So let me reset this for you. Again, Kyle's in studio. He's doing Husker Sports Nightly. Jess had this brainchild. She's like, hey, for part of Husker Sports Nightly, I'm going to go live. I'm going to be at wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
We can cut in. I'm going to grab people and she's stretching herself because she's, talented. So she's doing things on the fly. And KC is back in studio. So he kind of is just like we sometimes like to do. We're just messing with one another.
Yeah.
And she's like,
so where it got away from him?
You want to see a dead body?
You know where it got away from him?
Where?
Is his barb at her came off a little whiny.
Did it?
Yeah.
It's just his delivery.
No, I
He's
know.
not whining.
No, I know he's not actually, but when she heard that, do you have it, Shane?
I think so.
All right, let's give it a go.
It's being a little slow here,
on
bro.
Sunday because you're getting all.
Maybe we'll just.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that I was relegated to the studio in the dark dungeon as
In
it
your
looks
scarf.
on the camera right now. And you have such a beautiful backdrop. You're just with all the celebrities and the A-list media members in the corner. You got your own ring light, your own headset, and here I am stuffed in a locker in the corner of the studio. Let's just call a spade a spade. And the reality of this situation is that you took the limelight today and you stuffed me in a locker.
Well, listen, if you could talk wrestling, you could be out here.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It was over. It was, but you can see how it comes off like a
Time
little.
out. Play Shane. So you got to see.
Just
He's
stopped him dead in his tracks.
He's in studio.
Well, she starts early with the scarf.
Yeah, so she's
Just
subtly
low
dropped
key.
that
She's
in
like,
'cause-
yeah, and your scarf.
Well, he's constantly cold.
Well, yeah, and I know how some of those studios and places they get cold.
This is
I
cold.
hear ya.
This is cold-blooded. Shane, one more time.
I might show up to Devaney and do my own show on Sunday because you're getting all.
Maybe we'll just.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that I was relegated to the studio in the dark dungeon as
In
it
your
looks
scarf.
on the camera right now. And you have such a beautiful backdrop. You're just with all the celebrities and the A-list media members in the corner. You got your own ring light, your own headset. And here I am stuffed in a locker in the corner of the studio. Let's just call a spade a spade. And the reality of this situation is that you took the limelight today and you stuffed me in a locker.
Well, listen, if you could talk wrestling, you could be out here.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's just double tap to the back of the head. You're dead now.
Want to see a dead body?
It was. He's going on, and she in one line. It is.
And his
over.
voice is very controlling.
Yes.
So you typically have you're more apt to just succumb to what he's saying.
Yeah.
She's like, nah,
Not having it.
Nah, this not about to go down like
Yeah,
that.
he was trying to kind of trap her into being, and he's like, hey, if you were good enough, you'd be here. That's basically what she said to him. It's cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
That's a sniper shot from 1,500 yards. Just
that's the one you guys want to be the official
of
this draft.
No, we wanted KC.
Well, they wanted KC to voice it, and what they want Jess to do?
Film breakdowns. They wanted analysis.
Oh man, we'll get slaughtered.
That was
Could do the pre breakdown.
That's Shane's. That's true. We need Jess's big board.
He just wants somebody to say something nice to him.
It's true. Bye, Shane. That's all she wants. Don't forget, as apparently Shane's just playing us off here. I guess we don't have to.
I know, right? Since
thought
we're on the clock.
I thought we were doing a show, and Shane's like, "I'm done here." Apparently, where you gotta be, Shane?
I'm just glad I'm still alive.
I'm just here. So
I just want to have my mic on. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, it was on for a whole segment, and you didn't say a word. I did hear you go like this a lot, though.
What, like that?
Yeah, that's how I knew it was on, because I heard the buzz, and I was like, maybe it's a little feedback. And then I hear,
that's it.
And I was like,
that's not even necessary.
Oh, it's Shane over there. He's probably eating one of his hamburgers. If you're having trouble getting protein in like Shane does, Next Gen Male Medical, they've got you covered. It's not just, the testosterone and the peptides. They've also got a line of supplements as well that can help you feel your healthiest, from the vitamin B12 to the vitamin D, help you get through winter here. If, Shane's making you sick like he did everybody in the studio here, they can help you out, try and get through this winter illnesses as well. Give them a call, 614-9700. When are you heading over there next?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Tomorrow.
Oh, so you're almost back on schedule. You got one more week and you'll be back on Wednesdays?
They're so childish. They sent me the reminder.
Hey, if you ever want to make it back to Wednesdays, you better start with coming on a Thursday.
It's like, you guys got jokes.
I know you're going to make fun of them. You also sometimes need the reminders. Like next time you get ink on your lips, I'm going to remind you, hey, don't use chemical solvents. But do call Next Gen Male Medical. It's nextgenmalemedicalclinic.com.
It's not often I'm speechless. That was a pretty dumb decision.
To schedule an appointment. I literally texted you during the Mitch interview to be like, hey, bro, you actually okay? I started when you kept dipping the lips in the cup. I was like, you all right, bud?
I asked if you needed more water.
It's every ounce of my competitiveness to focus.
Somebody in the chat said maybe try milk.
Oh yeah, that's for tear gas.
Yeah, I mean if it's acid based in the solvent, then the milk would neutralize it.
Got to keep watering the bamboo.
If it's ammonia, I can't help you.
Didn't smell like ammonia. Knock it off.
I'm just saying. At least it wasn't bleach, right? That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla.
Not complain about what you didn't get.
We'll be back tomorrow on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.